Earlier, it was closed due to police activity in the area. We're not seeing delays on the Kennedy right now. Express lanes are open inbound. There is some rain in the western suburbs. Going to slow the commute a bit in that area. Road work is still going on outbound I-57, Crawford to Cicero in the two left lanes. Scheduled till 6. Work in both directions. It's wrapping up on the Bishop Ford Freeway. We're seeing delays on 8094 westbound Grant Chase. This is due to a crash at Chase blocking the left lane. Toll Road looks good right now despite the ongoing work in Hampton. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Here's our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
A shower or two this morning, otherwise clouds and breezy today, high 64. A shower and a heavy thunderstorm tonight, low 60. Showers and thunderstorms tomorrow morning, then a cloudy and breezy day, high 69. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
47 at O'Hare, 46 along the lakefront, 48 in Lansing this morning. Your next news update is at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy every Sunday afternoon at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. Late breaking story yesterday. Mike Scott, I'm sure we'll have updates throughout the morning as more information becomes available. But another school shooting in Colorado, Highlands Ranch, Colorado, a charter school there, just a week after memorializing the 20th anniversary of Columbine.
Yeah, it's miles away from Columbine, too.
1 dead, 8 hurt, 2 in custody.
Yeah, apparently the 2 individuals walked into the school. They got, as police said, deep inside the school and engaged students in 2 separate locations. One person that was killed, an 18-year-old student, being hailed as a hero tonight. Classmates say that, Dan, he jumped in front of the gunman to try and stop him and got shot in the chest. But this is the 33rd school shooting so far this year since August, and just to hear from the witnesses who survived.
We heard that there was a lockdown, but we thought it was a drill until we saw the officer with the patrol rifle and tens of other police cars just coming our way.
As soon as the lights go out, everyone was scared for their lives. People were quiet. I felt like I was out in the open. I didn't like it.
And then you always think of the parents who rushed to the scene to help, and everyone has a cell phone, so this mom was trying to reach her son.
Where are you located right now?
Northridge Rec Center.
That's where they're taking you. Are they taking you in a bus? How are you getting transported there?
They're taking us, Mom. I don't know.
How many kids were shot?
I don't know, Mom.
But again, 9 kids were shot, 1 fatally, and this student survived and was inches away from being shot.
Very, very comforting, because not knowing if we would make it out or what, since we didn't know how many there were or anything.
Don't use the names of shooters. We do use the name of heroes, though. Brad Bialy, it was his oldest son, Brendan, a senior, that told him he was in class when the gunfire erupted. His son told him that 2 students entered the classroom. One pulled a gun out of a guitar case. He said his son and 2 friends, as you were mentioning, Amy, tried to tackle the gunman, and one of those 2 friends was shot in the chest. Other students tried to stanch the bleeding by putting pressure on his chest. So, I mean, very much like the story out of UNC Charlotte last week. You've got a hero, somebody that saved other people's lives by confronting the assailant, and unfortunately, one of those heroes didn't make it. But it's just worth noting. And then law enforcement arrived on the scene, just for people who don't have the rest of the details. They did engage the 2 suspects, and they brought them into custody without injuring them, which is no small feat either.
And they said a lot of people were saved, too, because they do those active shooting drills. So people hid in the corners, hid in the closet, turned out the lights, locked the classroom door, and they did exactly what they were supposed to do.
And again, here that the school, just to mention, STEM School Highlands Ranch, which is a charter school with obviously a science tech focus.
Right.
Frank in St. Charles, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that the two shooters were not killed. But, maybe with all these cop shootings and school shootings, maybe the death penalty should be swift and public.
And public.
Public. Okay.
Thanks for the call, Frank.
Take
Well, I mean,
to
that's
the town square.
Well, I'm not a proponent of the death penalty, but I do understand the support for it, and I also understand the desire to make an example of those who commit acts of such unmitigated evil as killing other people, as going and shooting up a school. So I get the sentiment. So it's another horrific case, and you already had politicians in Colorado that are gun control making the pro forma call for gun control, saying thoughts and prayers aren't enough, as if anybody ever said they were. But it's the same stale arguments. Everybody runs to their particular corner to wave their particular flag, and
And what was different about this shooting than the Parkland shooting is that the police officers were outside, heard the gunfire, and ran toward it.
Well,
as opposed to that
yes.
security officer, Peterson, who sat there and did nothing.
Which is what police do 99% of
Right.
the time, so we shouldn't be surprised at that. And the interesting thing, though, we talked about it a little bit earlier this week, the Iowa having a class for grade schoolers, 7th and 8th graders on gun safety. The state of Florida, legislation going to Governor DeSantis' desk that would allow teachers who want to be armed and go through the proper training to be armed in the classroom. So the real discussion here about hardening targets while we try to deal with this cultural, sociological problem of hardened hearts.
Purchase a foursome at the AM 560 Golf Outing to support the families of fallen first responders. Call 312-363-6680. That's 312-363-6680.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-700-1368. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-700-1368. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-700-1368. 1-800-700-1368.
And another thing students are doing, they're learning how to make tourniquets, Dan, and put pressure on bullet wounds to save the kids or keep them alive until paramedics arrive. That's what they're doing at some CPS schools. And it just, as a parent, it makes you cry. It breaks your heart every time that this happens.
It's a pretty sad commentary that training is going on in school.
Looking to secure financing on a new home? Then you need to call Team Hochberg. Chuck, a Marine veteran, has heard thousands of Team Hochberg ads, so naturally he called them with his VA mortgage questions. Wrong. Chuck first contacted another radio lender who blew him off after learning he was credit challenged. So Chuck contacted Team Hochberg, which he should have done in the first place. Team Hochberg introduced Chuck to their credit enhancement expert, Gary Novel, who will help Chuck enhance his credit so Team Hochberg can help him secure a VA loan. Best part, Team Hochberg will issue Chuck a closing cost credit to offset the investment he made in himself to enhance his credit. Now, if you're a veteran and would like to work with a trusted local lender who respects your service and won't blow you off if you're credit challenged, then call Team Hochberg right now. That number, 855-56-DAVID, or visit 56david.com, 56david.com. Team Hochberg has helped me and thousands of AM 560 listeners, but they can't help you if you don't call. 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Homeside Financial, Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, MB 6761019, NMLS 1124061.
At Dell, we know running a small business takes hard work. As a thank you, for all of Small Business Month, we're offering up to 45% off select computers with Intel Core processors. Plus, get additional savings when you call a Dell Small Business Technology Advisor. Call 877-BUY-DELL today. That's 877-BUY-DELL. Additional savings valid May 6th through 30th at 8 a.m. Eastern on select computers from customer calls Dell. Excludes Dell Canvas, PowerEdge T30, and select order codes.
Liberty Mutual Insurance presents and Doug.
Limu, there's a woman threatening to sign up for generic car insurance. Grab your birdseed and let's go.
I'm gonna sign these papers right here, right now.
Ma'am, drop the pen. Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Thanks, Limu, Emu, and Doug.
Don't thank us, thank Liberty Mutual. But also thank us.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer. State laws apply.
AM 560. The Answer.
Dan and Amy and all right, I've opened Pandora's box here a little bit on the death penalty. Candace in Mount Pleasant, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, Dan, I'm really surprised that you're against the death penalty because your friend, Dennis Prager, talks about this often and clearly states that it's in the Bible 5 or 6 times. I read it in Exodus, his book, and to me, it just makes sense because there's nothing, in a case like this where it's very clear who did it, not questionable, why should these killers be allowed to go on breathing, which is a privilege, while the innocent's death has been shed?
Well, right.
I don't understand that.
Well, they do have the death penalty in Colorado.
Right. So that's also true. But so here's the thing. I didn't make a biblical argument in terms of my opposition to the death penalty, although it's sort of implicit. It really stems from a great skepticism of conferring the state the power to decide who lives and who dies. So it's easy to point to a John Wayne Gacy, to point to somebody who massacres kids in a school and say that person is Exhibit 1 in support of the death penalty. The problem is the way the laws are actually written, and then who becomes death penalty eligible. Of course, it's not limited to the school shooter. It's not limited to the mass murderer, the serial killer. It becomes extended to all sorts of other crimes because that's what politicians do, because everybody wants to be tough on crime. And then you have cases, as we famously had in Illinois before George Ryan imposed the moratorium, and then, of course, we rescinded the death penalty here, where you had corruption, incompetence that resulted in a lot of people going to death row in Illinois that shouldn't have been on death row, that were, in point of fact, innocent. And so the finality of that punishment and the frailty of the human condition make me very skeptical of it. In addition to that, I would say people who vastly, I think, underestimate the loss of your freedom. Putting somebody in a cage for the rest of their life, that is a severe punishment. That is a real punishment. That's not going soft on killers or predators. And I'm willing to pay to keep predators out of society and to err on the side of not putting my full faith in the state.
But what about, like the case with John Hinckley? Is that the guy who killed Reagan? He didn't kill him. He shot him.
Yes.
But then the liberals let them out later when, they let this guy free and he's out walking around. I mean, so I don't know. I understand what you're saying, but when it's they need to rewrite the law so that when it's clear, they don't have to wait so long to do it. And it just gets done. And by the way, did you guys hear, and I think it's North Carolina or South Carolina, they're going to start instead of doing this lethal injection, which I do think is bad, they're going to start doing it by gunfire.
Oh, there you go. Executioner song going back to Gary Gilmore's days. Okay, thanks for the call, Candace. Appreciate it. We'll continue to debate the death penalty.
It's like a bloody mess. I don't know if they're going back to that. We'll definitely look into that.
Today, also, switching gears completely,
yes,
is, although not completely because of the beneficiary, it's 100 Club Day. It's the day that we try to put together a little golf outing
Yes.
This one is going to be June 24th, and it's presented by Clear Financial Strategies, and it's going to be at Mistwood Golf Club in Romeoville, which is a great track. It's one of the best public tracks in the region. I play it every year. Jim McWethy, who's the owner of the course, has done an unbelievable job, invested a ton of money, great clubhouse, made that course really top flight, and so it's going to be a ton of fun.
Oh, good. And this is foursomes are $1,196, and the entry fee includes a full day of golf. There's a 7:30 morning shotgun and a 2 p.m. afternoon shotgun start. Your choice. Lunch from noon to 2, and there, of course, will be a silent auction. And today we have our special business benefactor program. If you are a business owner, manager, or the person who makes marketing decisions for your company, here's the deal. Purchase a foursome for $1,196. The proceeds will benefit the 100 Club of Chicago, the 100 Club of DuPage County, and the 100 Club of Will County. And a way of saying thank you, we'll give you 25 60-second commercials to promote your business right here on AM 560. The Answer commercials that will run between 5 a.m. and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday. It's a value of $3,000 that we're giving and offering you for $1,196. The number to call, 312-363-6680. Can't say it enough. 312-363-6680.
Now here's the point of contention for me with respect to this outing.
What, that they're selling you?
No.
Because Dan, if you want to play with Dan or me or Joe, a foursome is $2,000.
Right. That's the problem.
Why? Oh, you think you should go for more?
Obviously. It should be tiered. I mean, I should be at least double
so
you are, and probably 6 times what Joe is. First of all, I'm the only one who plays golf. Really plays golf.
Consistently, yes.
Yeah. So
I play it in my mind when it's sunny out, and I wish I could be golfing.
No, I understand.
And I'm in a hot, sweaty gym.
And you have a pretty good. Your short game is awful, but you don't play enough.
First of all, those weren't my clubs. Those were Barbie doll clubs.
Yeah. Okay. I've seen it. I've seen the swing. I've seen the short game. It's a mess. Now, you're off the tee. You've got a good swing. I mean, so you're a good athlete naturally, so you could play well. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about what's going to happen on June 24th.
Right. So winner, chicken dinner. If you want to win, you need to buy Dan's foursome. 312-363-6680. 312-363-6680.
Well, also, it's just if you respect the game, you want to play with me.
I'm not that bad. I respect the game.
No, I mean,
I don't move when people are putting. I'm very respectful of the course.
What's Walsh going to wear? Like jam shorts and
jorts, jean shorts. He wears jorts.
T-shirt out there? I don't think so. Actually, I don't think it'll be kicked off the course as well. He should be. But I mean, I'm not going to go beyond the rules that have been set by our corporate overlords here. The 2,000 for each of our foursomes. But I mean, really?
That's because we're also including in that we can voice your commercials as well.
Yeah.
So that's worth the price of $2,000 alone.
What I'm saying is, if you buy my foursome, kick in a few thousand extra. I mean, it's a $5,000 foursome to play with me.
Oh.
$2,000 is fine for Amy. Whatever you want to do for Walsh, I don't care. But for me, I mean, seriously.
Okay. 312-363-6680. We have this competition every year where whose foursome gets sold out first. If you want Team Amy, Team Dan, or Team Joe, sign up. You can enjoy a lovely day of golf with either one of us, and then we will record your commercials. Again, 312-363-6680. And we're going to have Joe Ahern on at 6:30 to talk about the 100 Club of Chicago, and then Lisa, oh boy, there's a name I have to pronounce, Savangino, and Bob Tunucci from the 100 Club of DuPage
Good. You
County.
can do your Italian slurs later in the show. People look forward to that.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
The New York Times discovered what everybody who has read Art of the Deal already knew, that Trump, during the mid-'80s to early '90s, lost a lot of money at a 538.
And later, new video in the Sandra Bland case. Should the case be reopened? And why did it take 4 years for someone to find it? But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Clouds, 47 degrees in Colorado this morning. STEM School Highlands Ranch closing for the rest of the week after Tuesday's shooting that left 1 student dead, 8 others wounded. 2 suspects were apprehended, an 18-year-old and a 17-year-old.
We currently have 2 suspects in custody. I'm not releasing their names at this point. We're verifying their age. We believe we have one adult male and one juvenile male.
A man who lives near that school describes seeing injured students coming out of the school.
The young man, he had his friend, he was applying pressure to his back. There was a teacher here. At the time, the teacher was calling, in the middle of calling the young man's mom. He called, she was able to connect with the mom and talk. I dialed 911.
The school has about 1,800 students. A U.S. House committee will be considering contempt of Congress citations for Attorney General William Barr and the Justice Department today, the department refusing to honor a subpoena to give the full unredacted final report from Special Counsel Robert Mueller to the Judiciary Committee. Migrants seeking asylum can be sent to Mexico to wait for their court hearings. In a surprise ruling, the liberal-leaning Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals sided with the Trump administration, saying they could wait in Mexico. Georgia's pro-life heartbeat abortion bill is now law. Republican Governor Brian Kemp.
We are called to be strong and courageous, and we will not back down. We will always continue to fight for life.
It makes most abortions illegal once a fetal heartbeat can be detected. A newborn baby is in stable condition, discovered abandoned on top of a trash can in Chicago's northwest side. Chicago Fire says a woman and her daughter discovered the child yesterday.
We won't judge. Don't leave your baby in an alley. Come to a firehouse. Leave the baby there. Give the kid a chance.
Police are trying to find the person who abandoned that child. A new report from the Illinois Auditor General reveals stunning information about the state's troubled Department of Children and Family Services. The 3-year performance audit released yesterday shows 102 children who died between 2015 and 2017 have been subjects of previous investigations of abuse or neglect by DCFS. However, experts say the trouble is systemic in DCFS and tracks back decades. In a major upset in Indiana elections, Lake County Assessor Jerome Prince is poised to win the Democratic mayoral primary, knocking incumbent Gary Mayor Karen Freeman Wilson off the ballot. One of the last members of the Tuskegee Airmen has died. Medical examiner in Texas confirming this morning that Dr. Granville Coggs has passed away at the age of 93. The Tuskegee Airmen were the first black military aviators in the armed forces in World War II. After the war, Dr. Coggs became a radiologist at Harvard Medical School before moving to San Antonio, where he taught at the University of Texas Health Science Center. Chris Bryant and the Cubs over the Marlins 5-2. Bryant with a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 9th inning. Lucas Giolito, 7 1/3 scoreless innings. White Sox beat the Indians 2-0. 5:34, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Become an AM 560 business benefactor when you purchase a foursome to our annual golf outing benefiting the 100 clubs of Chicago, DuPage, and Will counties. Presented by Clear Financial. In addition to enjoying a full day of golf, a buffet lunch, and a silent auction, your company will also receive 25 60-second commercials that will air right here on AM 560 to promote your business. Purchase a foursome today by calling 312-363-6680. That's 312-363-6680.
You don't want to mess with the IRS. They have the power to garnish your paycheck, levy your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. That's all true. But thankfully, they're offering a way out. The Fresh Start Initiative. If you qualify, you could save thousands. The experts at Optima Tax Relief will fight to get you the best possible tax settlement, and they have an A+ rating with the BBB. Call Optima for your free consultation.
Call 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744.
Optima Tax Relief.
Sutton Transport is having a career fair at their terminal at 4711 Lawndale Avenue in Lyons, Illinois, on Monday, May 13th from 4 to 8 p.m. Sutton Transport is hiring for a variety of CDL Class A driving positions, including local and regional routes. Applications will be available with interviews held on site. Sutton offers career advancement opportunities, consistent schedules, full benefits package, and newer equipment. To check out careers, go to suttontrans.com. Sutton Transport is an equal opportunity employer.
Did you know that your sump pump is the heart of your basement waterproofing system? Hi, I'm Roy Spencer, president of Permaseal. You know how many sump pumps fail? That's right, all of them. It isn't a matter of if, but rather when your pump will fail. Unfortunately, you may not realize there's a problem until your basement is flooded and you've incurred thousands of dollars in damages. At Permaseal, we make it easy to have your sump system evaluated and a reliable pump and battery backup system installed. Call Permaseal today at 800-421-SEAL to schedule your free inspection. We've received many calls from happy customers whose basement and belongings were protected during this past rainy season. But don't take our word for it. Check out our reviews with the Better Business Bureau. You'll see that many of your friends and neighbors are part of the Permaseal family. Get the peace of mind that comes with a dry basement and a healthy home. You know who to call. Permaseal. 800-421-SEAL or visit permaseal.net.
Known best for being better, Permaseal.
537. Let's check the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
In St. Charles this morning, we have a report of a crash and vehicle fire. Redgate Road, east of Randall at Ridgewood. Seeing slow traffic now on some of the expressways with rain factoring in. Mount Stevenson, it's heavy. Harlem to Central and Pulaski to Kedzie. You get 38 minutes from 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Up on 5 to 34. Inbound Ryan. A 5-minute delay just past the Stevenson into the Burns Circle. I-57 outbound, there's work Crawford to Cicero in the two left lanes. Ramp closures at 167th till 6 this morning. On Bishop Ford. Already 25 minutes, 80-94 to the merge. Tollway traffic still pretty light. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, a couple of showers this morning. Otherwise cloudy and breezy, 64. Overcast overnight. Some heavier storms could move in, low 60 and a high of 69 tomorrow. It's 47 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Secure Retirement Radio with host Raj Shah. Sunday mornings at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. I am sniffing a whiff.
What's wrong?
Of a future Pulitzer Prize for the New York Times.
Oh.
There it is. That's me sniffing a Pulitzer Prize. The
That's
aroma
that video.
of a Pulitzer Prize is in the air because the New York Times got its grubby little hands on Trump's tax returns.
Yeah, from what, 1985 to 1984?
1985 to 1994.
94?
Yeah. His 1040s for those years. And
what does it show? What's the big reveal?
The numbers show that in 1985, Trump reported losses of $46 million from his core businesses, casinos, hotels, retail space, and apartment buildings. Then he continued to lose money every year during that time period, totaling just over $1 billion in losses for the decade. And so as a result, paid
Zero,
effectively very little in taxes.
All right, next. No, I know. What, 312-642-5600. Does this change your mind about President Trump? Is he fiscally responsible? Or, I mean, I don't know what they were trying to get. I know everyone's chomping at the bit to get his tax returns, and subpoenas are going to be filed and all that. But does it matter anymore?
There's a passage in Art of the Deal where Trump is walking down some street in New York, and he sees a homeless person, and he remarks to himself, at least as memorialized in the book, that guy right there is worth $1 billion, whose net worth is zero, ostensibly, is worth $1 billion more than I am. That's because he had taken a hammering in all of these core businesses that are described in the reporting on his tax returns from those years. So Art of the Deal was written 30 years ago? So I'm struggling to find the bombshell here.
And I'm not about to judge a man for something that happened from 1985 to 1995.
Well, I mean, also
he's a business. He was an entrepreneur.
So where is he? where is he now? Where has he been? I mean, I'm no particular fan of Trump and many of his business dealings, and I've made fun of him before too. The only guy who could run a casino for a loss, but I mean a complete loss, a bankruptcy. But this is a nothing burger. Except here's what I think is actually at play.
Okay.
Number one, they got their hands on the documents, so it keeps the tax return story alive, as you were mentioning. The subpoenas and the Torquemadas in the House that want all of his financial records, and the investigations going on by the Southern District of New York trying to get bank records in addition to tax returns, looking at loans and real estate projects, see if he committed some sort of bank fraud.
And hush money payments, all that.
And so that's what the tax returns thing, just like this story, this is not about finding anything of a criminal nature, really. You think that Congress is going to do a better job of identifying something criminally wrong with his tax returns that the IRS hasn't done in all the years that they've been auditing Trump and Trump's organization? It's absurd. It's not about that. It's about the Warren Buffett moment. It's about getting evidence to support the notion this guy pays no taxes. It's all about their class envy politics. Billionaire, 1%er, and he pays no taxes. You know, the Warren Buffett pays less in taxes than his secretary. That's what they're looking for here. And
they're looking for an I gotcha moment on the campaign trail.
Well,
he was decades in the red, blah, blah, blah.
They're looking for a way to prosecute their class envy case. He cut taxes for himself and his friends. It's for the rich. The rich don't pay their fair share. This is why we need 70% top marginal rates. This is why we need a 50% wealth tax, and so on and so forth. All of the positions that Democrat, socialist presidential candidates are taking, and thus their handmaidens in the D.C. press corps are taking. That's what this is really about.
Is it going to change anyone's mind? I mean, if you're a Trump supporter, you're still going to be a Trump supporter.
What would have changed your mind? That you already know this.
Right.
I mean, it was factored in 2.5 years ago. Well, it's just so it's not silly, because you just have to understand the narrative they're constructing, and they need to continue to feed that narrative lest it die on its merits. You can't have that.
Well, they said, that he propelled to the presidency because he self-spun a narrative of business success.
Well, he does have business success.
But he does have business success.
And who in business doesn't have failure along with success? Right. And the question is, does the success, or at least the size of them, outweigh the failures?
We knew he had filed for bankruptcies. We know this.
This is complicated. Larger question, though. Should politicians be forced by law to release their tax returns? And I'm talking about presidents, members of Congress, and then even, we have this debate at the state level all the time, too. Executive office holders, constitutional office holders, even state legislators. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636-DA, turnkey.pro text line. Do you want politicians to be compelled to release their tax returns every year, or at least for a number of years prior to their election, when they hold themselves up for
when
office?
You were running for governor, did you release your tax returns?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what did they show?
I'm
Losses of $1.17 billion?
Yeah, from 2000 to 2010, when I ran, I lost $1 billion. No. Of course not. It was.
Did anyone bother to go through your tax return?
No,
I wouldn't even want to bother to go through your.
People barely bothered to pay attention to the fact I was running. Much less get into.
How many votes did you get? 70,000.
60,000.
Oh well, let's just throw in another 10,000.
Thank you.
For good measure.
I feel better about that.
Okay.
The 10,000 vote kicker. But I mean, this is a.
Well, do you think less of politicians if they don't?
I'm for
release their tax returns.
I don't think it should be required by law, but I think it's best practices. I do. I think politicians. I said this when this controversy about Trump releasing his tax returns first bubbled up. He should release his tax returns. I think he should. I think these politicians should. And I think now that they've made this such an issue here in Illinois, such an issue that the supermajority of Democrat socialists in the Illinois State Senate voted to advance a bill allowing the state to block President Trump from Illinois' 2020 ballot if he does not release 5 years of his tax return.
And that's exactly what the state of California is doing, too.
Right. Colorado, all these socialists are doing it
Democratic
everywhere.
States.
Yeah, this is how they think that. So forget for the moment that this is unconstitutional.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's not going to happen. But, okay.
I mean, and I don't mean that just because it's my opinion. It's the Supreme Court's opinion. There's a case, U.S. Term Limits v. Thornton, in which the Supreme...
Oh, I wanted to talk about that one.
Okay, go ahead. What was the holding?
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I'll let you shine
gonna let me do
this
it?
time.
Thank you.
You have your moment.
I mean,
Dan.
you're always prattling on about constitutional case law.
I know.
So, I mean, just this one time, let me have a go at it.
All right. Go ahead, Dan.
The holding in the case was states can't impose requirements on those seeking federal office beyond what is prescribed in the Constitution.
Okay.
Because of just such idiocy at the state level that you would otherwise get, depending on who's in power and who the target is. So, yeah, so that's not going to fly. But it does, I mean, since Democrats want Trump's tax returns, and I remember they piled on Jason Plummer when he was running with Bill Brady in the 2010 election cycle that we were talking about.
Wasn't he 29 years old at the time or something?
But yeah, Brady's running mate. Now he's a state senator, but he was Brady's running mate, and he wouldn't release his tax returns. And the Chicago press corps, which again is just an appendage of the D.C. press corps, made a big deal about it. Okay, so Tony Munoz, the state senator, Chicago Democrat, who sponsored the bill that passed the Senate. If you want to run for vice president or president of the United States, hey, what's wrong with providing your tax returns for the past 5 years? If you got nothing to hide, you shouldn't worry about anything. That's how I see it. I'll tell you what, Tony, me too. That's how I see it as well. So if you want to run for governor, same thing, right? You got nothing to hide. If you want to be a House Speaker or Senate President, yeah, got nothing to hide, right, Tony? Would you say the same thing to your Munchkin boss there in the Senate, John Cullerton? What about Mike Madigan? Since we all agree that, I mean, including even the press corps, that Mike Madigan is the most powerful politician in Illinois and has been forever, why is there no clamor for his tax returns? I mean, if you got nothing to hide, right, Tony? Isn't that the standard? Right? So Cullerton and Madigan and all your state legislators. I mean, there's only so much you can really divine from tax returns. For starters, so I think more is made of this than is actually than is actually warranted in terms of the potential impact. But why not? I'm for the full proctology exam if you want to hold yourself out for a public office. And Tony seems to be a supporter of that, and the Chicago Democrat Socialists here seem to be a big supporter of that proposition as it pertains to Trump. Well, what about here locally? What about if that's best practices? Why don't we lead by example in Illinois like we're so fond of doing? Ken in Lombard, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning. What I would like to see is a full disclosure of what the household taxes are, because you have the superhero Dick Blumenthal from Connecticut who files his tax returns separately from his wife, while his wife is running real estate, whatever. I don't know if it's a scam, but her real estate dealings in Connecticut. Now, why would you file separately? Well, let me see now. All I show is my measly income as a senator for $180,000 or $170,000, whatever it is a year. Then all that other stuff gets forgotten about. The reason why it's significant is because he is the direct beneficiary. If those two, you know how scumbag lawyers are, right? They're going to get half of everything when they get divorced. Guess what? He gets half of what she's accumulated through the years. I want to know who the direct beneficiaries are of their households, to include Nancy Pelosi. This filing separate tax returns, that's a crock.
All right.
So that's what has to be addressed.
Okay, that's fair. Thanks for the call, Ken. Yeah, the artifice afoot in certain families. It's a fair point. Tyler Cohen, I don't agree with him on this, but it's an interesting piece he wrote about forcing politicians to reveal their tax returns. He suggests that it sends us down this slippery slope. Transparency is not a god, and he suggests that total tax transparency would actually boost income, boost U.S. economic inequality and devastate privacy. Here's what think about the dating market. Tax transparency would give high-earning men and women a bigger advantage and hurt their lower-earning competitors. Do we really wish to do that in an age of growing income inequality and diminish upward mobility? Yeah, although, I don't know, high-earning men and high-earning women sort of self-select anyway. I mean, you sort of know.
Yeah.
I mean, within a range, I suppose, but okay. Is it better if your parents and all your friends can see how well your new job is going or how much in royalties your last book earned? As it stands, we exist in a slightly more comfortable social equilibrium where your close associates assume the best, or at least give you the benefit of the doubt. Transparency of earnings would increase stress and make failure and disappointment all too publicly evident. Think about entrepreneurs with long-term projects which are going to make it, but not right away. That might increase the social and family pressures to quit because they're not doing well right away. Also this, the results of tax record publication in Norway, according to one UCLA economics professor who looked at it. The game of income comparisons negatively affected the well-being of poorer Norwegians, while at the same time boosting the self-esteem of the rich. So, I mean, it's just interesting. I mean, is too much transparency, too much of a good thing, so to speak? So that's the argument that Cohen makes. I don't think we're worried about the self-esteem of egomaniacal politicians, however, but it's just interesting to have a more complete discussion about the issue than, say, your hack Democrat Pauls like Tony Munoz want to have.
Golf with AM 560 on Monday, June 24th at our annual golf outing to support the families of fallen first responders. Call 312-363-6680 to reserve your foursome.
Hi, this is Dr. Mike Andriano of Trinity Holistic Health Center. We live in interesting times. The world seems to make less sense every year. More adults and children struggle with anxiety and sleep issues. Over the past couple of years, more than half of the clients coming into my office report poor sleep or problems with anxiety. Those who suffer with these issues know that they impact every aspect of their life and seem like torture. Both issues are signs of deeper health problems. Inflammation drives a process that causes anxiety and poor sleep. Anti-inflammatory diets, herbs, and even medications don't address the root cause of inflammation, but we do. My practice at Trinity Holistic Health Center concentrates on finding and fixing the root cause of your health problem, not just covering up the symptoms.
If this sounds like you, go to lifedoc.am or call 1-833-LIFE-DOC and learn how you can get help to end your anxiety and get a restful night's sleep once and for all. That's lifedoc.am or call 1-833-LIFE-DOC.
Oh, another school year is about to wrap up, and you need to start thinking about activities for your son and daughter during summer break. You want them to have fun, but at the same time, we all know that they need structure. So introduce them to St. John's Northwestern Experience in the beautiful Lake County region of southeast Wisconsin with summer OPS, opportunities for personal success. 5 intensive weeks of learning and training. Young men and women between 7th to 12th grade get an opportunity to advance academically in the structured and supportive environment of a military boarding school, and at the same time be involved in an exciting summer adventure camp that really inspires personal growth and develops their character and their wellness, academic and leadership skills. Camp St. John's Northwestern for your son or daughter. There's full boarding or day camp programs. I sent Peyton and Eli there last year. They loved it. They have summer camp week programs too. Find out all the information and even schedule a tour if you'd like by calling 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET, or simply go online to sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
Safety. It's so important at your industrial facility. You need to keep your personnel safe and meet OSHA requirements. One problem with your ladders, platforms, or safety guards, and you could be facing costly fines. Vans Industrial helps you meet OSHA standards to keep your employees safe.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. As a business owner, I realize the importance of keeping my employees safe, and I'm here to offer my expertise. Vans Industrial is a specialty contractor uniquely equipped to design, fabricate, and install safety equipment, including walkways, handrails, stairways, and machinery guards. Our Vans Industrial team can inspect existing systems, engineer solutions, fabricate quality goods, and install them with trained pros, all making a safer environment for your employees.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics, insured at the highest level, to perform the job right. Call 833-VANS-IND. That's 833-VANS-IND. Or on the web at vansindustrial.com. When you're insured by Mag Mutual, you get more than just medical professional liability protection. You get partnership. Mag Mutual is your partner when it comes to safeguarding patients, physicians, and healthcare teams. Everything they do is focused on protecting and supporting you in the practice of medicine, from helping you save money to mitigating your risk. Mag Mutual is your single source for customized service and support. Their promise to protect includes comprehensive insurance solutions for the practice, business, and regulation of medicine, expert guidance, an extensive resource library, and complimentary access to up-to-date and evidence-based clinical decision support resource. Mag Mutual is committed to your success. You can stay focused on your patients knowing Mag Mutual is your partner. Visit them on the web at magmutual.com.
For more information about Mag Mutual in Illinois, please contact Dr. Shaw at Flagship Healthcare at 312-888-9248 or by email at info@flagshiphc.com. Visit their website at flagshiphc.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Today, 100 Club Day here at AM 560 all day long. It's our annual golf outing, which is presented this year by Clear Financial Strategies, and we're changing where we're playing the game. We're going to Mistwood Golf Club in Romeoville.
It's a great track. Mistwood is a great track. You're going to like it. It's pretty tough, too. But it's one of the best public tracks in the area. As I said, we were talking about earlier, Jim McQuethy, who's the owner of Mistwood, has done just a tremendous job at that course. It's really a fun course to play and challenging if you like golf. So here's how you participate. Well, I mean, the real thing you want to do is just buy the foursome to play with me, so you can enjoy your day and have a chance of taking home the hardware.
Oh, that's right.
But you can purchase the Team Amy, Team Dan, or Team Joe Walsh foursome for $2,000, and in addition to that, one of the three of us or somebody else of your choosing, perhaps Justin, Quinn, whoever you want, will record 25 60-second commercials to promote your business on our airwaves that will run primetime hours between 5 a.m. and 10 p.m. during the week. That's a $3,000 value in advertising you can get for $2,000 by playing with one of us.
Yeah, and to call, to sign up, call 312-363-6680. The golf outing is Monday, June 24th. We'll have a 7:30 a.m. morning shotgun and a 2 p.m. afternoon shotgun start. You choose which one you want. And lunch from 12 to 2, and, of course, a silent auction. And it benefits the 100 Club of Chicago, 100 Club of DuPage County, and Will County. 312-363-6680, 312-363-6680. This event always sells out, so the sooner you sign up, the better.
And if you don't want to do too large for one of our three foursomes, Amy, me, or Joe, $11.96, you get a foursome, and you still get those 25 60-second commercials that were recorded. You just don't get to play with us. So $1,196 for a foursome if you don't want to play with me, Amy, or Joe. Same number, 312-363-6680.
And it's always a fun day, so get on it. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
5 bills the Democrats are moving to try to move America to socialism at 6:06.
But first here, let's check in with Mike Scott.
A newborn baby found abandoned on Chicago's northwest side. WIND Chicago News Time, 6 o'clock.
They're still in serious condition. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. 2 of the 8 people wounded in yesterday's school shooting in Colorado that left 1 dead.
Gunshots started in the hallway, so right outside my classroom.
The 2 accused shooters now in custody were both students. One is 18, Devin Erickson. The other's younger, name not released.
Police searched a home near the scene of the shooting. Neighbors confirming that that is indeed the home of the Erickson family. At one point, police were seen towing away a car which was covered with some disturbing graffiti. Obviously, they are also combing through the social media.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt in Highlands Ranch. 1 year to the day after President Trump pulled the U.S. out of the Iran nuclear deal, Iran is telling the other countries still signed on, if it doesn't get better terms in 60 days, it'll begin higher uranium enrichment. Well, House Democrats are still trying to get President Trump's recent tax returns. We're getting information from decades ago. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, the New York Times reports President Trump lost more than $1 billion from real estate ventures, according to copies of federal tax returns for the years between 1985 and 1994. The paper said it obtained the copies from someone with access to them and compared the information with other high-income earners from that era. The president's losses were reportedly so large he was able to avoid paying income taxes for those years. An attorney for the president calls the tax information demonstrably false. Dave.
And Rachel, moments ago, President Trump tweeted very old information put out as a highly inaccurate fake news hit job. The president's won an appeal and a challenge to one of his immigration policies that will allow his administration to keep sending illegal immigrants who seek asylum to Mexico to wait for their claims to be processed. In the House today, Democrats may move forward in the Judiciary Committee and vote to hold Attorney General Barr in contempt of Congress. If that happens, the Justice Department threatens it'll have the president invoke executive privilege on the unredacted Mueller report. This is Fox News.
Skies are cloudy, 47 degrees at 6:02 on AM 560. The Answer, and good morning. I'm Mike Scott. A newborn baby continues to fight for life. In stable condition at this hour after being found abandoned on top of a trash can on Chicago's northwest side. Chicago Fire says a woman and her daughter discovered the child yesterday inside of a shopping bag in an alley near Keystone and Wabansia. Firefighters say if mothers are ever in desperate situations, just give the child a chance.
We won't judge. Don't leave your baby in an alley. Come to a firehouse. Leave the baby there. Give the kid a chance.
Police are trying to find the person who abandoned that child. In a bloated plans by tax and spend Democrats in Springfield, an unexpected tax revenue windfall has so bolstered Illinois finances that Governor J.B. Pritzker has been forced to nix a plan to reduce pension payment obligations next year. In a letter to lawmakers, Pritzker's administration reported $4.1 billion in individual and corporate income tax revenues in April. That's up 38% from 2018 and $1.5 billion more than initially projected. The letter quietly credited the Illinois and national economy. Major upset in Indiana elections yesterday. Lake County Assessor Jerome Prince is poised to win the Democratic mayoral primary and appeared to knock out incumbent Gary Mayor Karen Freeman Wilson. Prosecutors allege a Chicago woman was killed by a bullet fired by gang members targeting a rival they observed selling marijuana from a car parking lot. Brian Mitchell and Marco Zabala are charged with first-degree murder and attempted first-degree murder in the April 26 slaying of Candace Dickerson. Well, Blackhawks goalkeeper Corey Crawford likes being high-profile. Well, you can't get much more high-profile than this, driving fast in front of a lot of people this weekend. The racing enthusiast has been chosen to drive the pace car before Saturday's IndyCar Grand Prix at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Crawford says he's already begun off-season workouts and is expected to be the Hawks' starting goalie in the fall. Chris Bryant's 3-run home run in the bottom of the ninth gave the Cubs a 5-2 win over the Marlins. Lucas Giolito tossed 7 1/3 scoreless. White Sox blanked the Indians 2-0 in Cleveland. Fire and New England Revolution on the pitch tonight. The news, a service of Express Services Incorporated. You work hard and know what it takes to succeed. Now it's time to put your experience to work and launch your business. For a limited time, Express Employment Professionals will give you $25,000 to open your franchise. Get to know Express. Visit expressfranchising.com today. A check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
Today is 100 Club Day on AM 560 The Answer. Purchase a foursome at our upcoming golf outing on Monday, June 24th at the Mistwood Golf Course in Romeoville. Presented by Clear Financial. A portion of the proceeds will go to benefit the 100 clubs of Chicago, DuPage County, and Will County as they assist the families of fallen first responders. To purchase a foursome today only, call 312-363-6680. That's 312-363-6680.
All money managers might seem the same, but while some give their clients cookie-cutter portfolios, Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to your goals and needs. Some only call when they have something to sell. Fisher calls regularly, so you stay informed. And while some advisors are happy to earn commissions whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come from other money managers. So if you're in or nearing retirement, talk with us and find out why investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
This is Dr. Howard, founder and formulator of Balance of Nature. We're changing America, one life at a time.
I think I told you I did physical labor basically my whole life, and I know that had to take a toll. I don't know, maybe there's a little arthritis in there or weakening of the knees. I tell you, the pills, I don't want to say I'm pain-free, but it's not uncomfortable at all anymore. I really notice a difference. I do. And the pills are, they're a piece of cake to take. I did throw 6 of them in my mouth, take a half a glass of water, whatever, and down they go.
From now until May 10th, receive a 15% discount and free shipping on your first preferred order of Balance of Nature. And just in time for Mother's Day, receive an extra $10 off any additional set of fruits and veggies you purchase. This offer will end on May 10th, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
With more than 6,000 hotels across the country, including La Quinta, Days Inn, and Super 8, a great hotel by Wyndham is closer than you think. Find one near you and book direct at wyndhamhotels.com.
6:07. Well, it's time for a dry basement and a healthy home. It's time to call Permaseal. 800-421-SEAL. Let's get a check on the roads this morning in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
In St. Charles, Redgate Road is closed in both directions between Randall and 31 after a crash and vehicle fire. The investigation is ongoing for injuries. Westbound Reagan Tollway 88, it's closed right now. Westbound 47 of Main Street. Crews clear a vehicle from the ditch. Eastbound, it's open, and farther east from 83 to Roosevelt, we're seeing mild roadwork-related delays. Northbound Tri-State traffic's heavy, 95th to the 83rd Street toll. Kennedy inbound delays started Canfield. It's 24 minutes O'Hare to downtown. On Eisenhower, 35 minutes, 390 to the Burn Circle. Stevenson, already 49 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, a couple of morning showers. Otherwise cloudy, breezy, high 64, currently 47. Our next news update, 6:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by In the Know with Wealth Management Group, hosted by Craig Bolanos. Heard Sunday mornings at 10.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy, the Sandra Bland case. Remember, this is the Chicago woman who was involved in a traffic stop with a police officer down in Houston area, like right outside Prairie View A&M University.
Yeah, where she was a student. She was from Naperville, and she recently moved down to Texas to take classes. And until now, dash cam video was the only video that we've ever seen.
Right. But I mean, she was stopped by a cop for failure to signal a lane change. And then it escalates to the point where she was arrested, and then she's in prison for 3 days. Nobody comes to
nobody bonded her out.
Which is interesting. But she committed suicide. She hung herself in prison. So from a failure to signal a lane change to an arrest to a suicide, I mean, it's just a terrible case. This was used by Black Lives Matter movement to excoriate police nationwide. There was legislation introduced by politicians in Texas with respect to police in her name. And now this dash cam video that you're about to address has led to presidential candidates, including Beto O'Rourke, to call for a reopening into her death investigation, even though there's already been a civil settlement.
Yeah, so we have the dash cam video. This is her personal cell phone video. So she's recording the stop. And
Right.
for 4 years, this has been buried. No, this didn't even come up in court, Dan. That's why everyone was really shocked yesterday when this was released thanks to a Texas television station.
Get out of the car now. Why am I being apprehended? You trying to give me a ticket for the failure? Get out of the car. Why am I being apprehended? You just opened my car door. You just opened my car door. So you threatening to drag me out of my own car. Get out of the car. And then you gonna stun me? I will light you up. Get out. Wow. Now. Wow. Get out of the car. For a failure to signal. You doing all of this for a failure to signal. Get over there. Right, yeah. Yeah, let's take this to court. Let's do it. Go ahead. For a failure to signal. Yep, for a failure to signal. Get off the phone. On my school. Get off the phone. I'm not on the phone. I have a right to record. This is my property. This is my property. Sir? Put your phone down right now.
I mean, so they want to reopen the case because of this. This makes me be thankful that the police officer didn't tase her because she was indignant. She was disrespectful to him. And that if that's what police officers go through on a daily basis, my God, I really, really feel sorry for them. I mean,
Well,
this is that's
a couple. Well, that's interesting. A couple things. One, the Texas Department of Public Safety disputes that her personal cell phone video was not made available to the plaintiffs. They, according to reporting by CBS News.
Oh, really?
The cell phone video was known to all parties at the time and said that 2 years following the litigation, it was unclear what arrangements, if any, were made by plaintiffs to view the video. The department disputed the premise the video was not provided, saying it was included as a part of a large hard drive of evidence from the investigation. So, you know, and there's almost a $2 million settlement between the municipality and the Bland family for wrongful death. So all these calls to reopen the death investigation.
Well, they want a civil rights investigation. They said that he violated her civil rights.
The the police officer in question, Encina, was indicted for perjury, but the perjury charge was dropped, and they made a deal that he would be fired and that he would never work in law enforcement.
He would never apply for a police officer job ever again.
So I'm not sure what is to be done in relitigating the case. I mean, what you want him arrested after a deal was already made? Well, that's not going to fly. So I think it's just political grandstanding. However, the underlying issue, the police officers, Encina, no longer a police officer, how that went down. By the way, Sandra Bland, another just factoid to refresh your recollection, because this is 4 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, she was arrested. We can argue about whether that was proper, but why would she commit suicide? She'd been in jail for 3 days.
Well, she had suffered some mental illness, and her family members said she had tried to commit suicide before.
After she lost a child.
Yeah.
So, you know.
But the fact is, too, they let her sit there, Dan, for 3 days and didn't post any bond for her. No one came to visit her. No one talked to her on the phone. And then they are awarded $1.9 million.
Well, here's the thing. Just in terms of, like, the legal standard here. Look, it's the eggshell theory. You take people as they come. And so I'm sure the officer never thought that she was mentally ill to the point where she would commit suicide if she was imprisoned for any period of time. So it's tragic in that sense. But it doesn't excuse culpability. And from what I heard there...
What did you think?
I think the police officer's got a problem. I think the police... failure to signal a lane change. He said in response back when this was first being investigated that at some point after I pulled her over, I became afraid for my safety. I got to tell you, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. Specifically why?
Well, he said that she posed a threat to his life.
Yeah, right. Specifically why? Because what I hear and what you saw from the dash cam video, I don't see her posing a physical threat to the officer. I don't even see her actually being particularly obstreperous until they get it, the back and forth over whether or not she can video him, and when he starts yelling at her, put the phone down, so he escalates and she escalates. Police officers are supposed to be in the business of de-escalating where possible. This is over a failure to signal a lane change. I don't think so. I think the cop was completely wrong here, and I'm not going to fall in with the hysterics in the Black Lives Matter movement.
Well, this is right near the Michael Brown time and all that hands up, don't shoot movement.
Completely different case.
Right,
all
but that's
these
why
cases
I think
are different.
she videotaped it because of that. And see, what I process that is I think she's lucky she didn't get shot right then and there or
For
tasered.
what?
Because she's mouthing off to the cop. She's not respecting authority. She's not.
Okay, Cartman.
Well,
yeah.
no, I mean, this infuriated. I saw that and I said, this helps the police officer. This doesn't help her and her family in her case. I think that
This doesn't help her?
I don't think this helps her at all.
Our family?
Let me hear it one more time.
Get out of the car now. Why am I being apprehended? You trying to give me a ticket for your failure? Get out of the car. Why am I being apprehended? You just opened my car door. You just opened my car door. So you threatening to drag me out of my own car. Get out of the car. And then you gonna stop me? I will light you up. Get out. Wow. Now. Wow. Get out of the car. For a failure to signal. You doing all of this for a failure to signal. Get over there. Right, yeah. Yeah, let's take this to court. Let's do it. Go ahead. For a failure to signal. Yep, for a failure to signal. Get off the phone. On my school. Get off the phone. I'm not on the phone. I have a right to record. This is my property. This is my property. Sir? Put your phone down.
What are your rights? I mean, can you video if you're being pulled over? Can you use your cell phone to record the arrest?
Yeah, why not? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636-DA, turnkey.pro text line. All these cases are fact-specific. They're different cases, and they should be addressed on the particulars.
4 times he told her to get out of the car, and she didn't listen.
Why is he asking her or demanding she get out of the car? It's for a failure to signal. What is it that and the police officer never explained, at least not that I've read.
Did she show him his driver's license? I don't know.
What she was doing that would lead him to command that she get out of the car. And then I'm going to light you up.
And that was a little aggressive. I'm going to light you up.
The whole thing was aggressive.
And he is pointing taser.
She refers to him as sir. She says, let's essentially handle this in court. That's precisely correct. She's not. I don't think she was being particularly confrontational. She was asking questions, and the officer didn't like the questions she was asking, and he took that to be sort of defiance. I'll tell you what. I get pulled over for failure to signal. I mean, I'll have my license right here. You go. Here's my license. Write the ticket. I'm not even. But I mean, you tell me to get out of the car. Why? Why should I get out of the car?
I think something happened before she started recording that we don't know about, that only the officer knows and she would know, but she's not here to tell that side of the story.
Well, the officer, whatever he knew, wasn't particularly compelling. He was indicted for perjury, and again, the deal was we won't prosecute you for perjury if you turn in your badge and never work in law enforcement again.
You can't even be a security guard.
So I don't think this is a close call at all. This just strip away all the race racketeers from this case, okay? Just the case on its merits. That interaction between Sandra Bland and Encina, the cop. No way was that cop in the right. Anthony in Plainfield, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. Before I say anything, I want to say I am very supportive of the law enforcement community.
So am I, obviously.
I think yes. And I agree with you, Dan. I think he was a little bit out of control, to say the least. He didn't de-escalate, or at least he didn't appear to de-escalate things. She wasn't terribly nasty. She was just stating her point. He could have easily, tried to explain why he had to pull her over, why he had to get her out of the car, and to threaten her to light her up if she doesn't follow his direction. That's totally inappropriate. He could have done a much better job. So I'd agree.
Thanks.
Out of line.
Also smoking a cigarette, too. I mean, her cavalier attitude has always bothered me. She's on recording, then she's smoking her cig. I don't know. It's just so disrespectful.
I've got pulled over before, and I was smoking a cigar in my car.
And did you go?
No, I didn't blow smoke in the officer's face, but she didn't do that either. She's smoking.
No,
I mean, what?
This is just everything I tell my kids not to do.
So, I mean,
Put your hands on the dashboard. Be respectful.
Well, sure.
Don't talk back. He said 4 times to her, get out of the car. And
She-
so you want to go? You want a piece of me? You want to go?
She didn't say, "Do you want to
No,
go?"
but I felt felt like that.
Come
You want
on.
to go? Is this go time?
She could have been demure and said very little. She didn't, but what she said is was not in lacking in compliance. She ultimately got out of the car. The way she addressed the officer by pointedly asking questions, that's not illegitimate. I mean, again, this is over a failure to signal a lane change.
But is it about race? I mean, her family maintains that it's example of excessive use of force by police against African Americans.
Well, I don't.
Okay,
I'm not doing the whole Black Lives Matter. We're going to internationalize this and make some sweeping commentary based on one cop who got it wrong, who was, as Anthony from Plainfield said, was out of control. He got it wrong, and the problem is, and this is why you have to hold law enforcement to a high standard, and they do hold themselves to a high standard. You don't know who you're dealing with. And because this woman had challenges with mental illness, this whole incident becomes something where she hangs herself. This woman dies. You set in motion a chain of events that leads to her death. It should have never got that far. There's no evidence to suggest there's any reason for her to demand for him to demand that she get out of the car. The idea of arresting her over this is absurd. Imprisoning her for 3 days. Let her out in an I bond. She's a student at the local university. This is crazy. Sandra Bland should be alive. I mean, I just got to say, to me, this is not a close call. Corey in Woodlawn, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Thanks a lot, Dan. You get it right so many times. I just want to say that. You get it right so many times. This is why I listen to you in the morning.
Thank you.
And Amy, welcome back, Amy.
Oh, and that's all I have to say about that.
Okay.
Drop mic in Woodlawn. Okay.
The welcome back can be interpreted a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
All right, Corey, still dropping the mic. All right, thanks, Corey. Steve in Roselle.
Yeah, I have to agree with Amy. I've been pulled over for simple traffic stops, and I've complacently complied, and got out of the car, and I've been handcuffed because you have tiny women, and I'm a big guy, and they think that one swoop of the arm, and they're flying on their derriere, and I'm driving their squad car off into the sunset. So I have to agree with Amy.
Well, wait a second.
But were you released, or were you Were you in jail?
They wanted to control the situation.
Okay.
They gave me the police order. I complied.
What? Why were you pulled up? Were you fleeing a bank robbery? Why were you pulled over in the first place?
Speeding and a light out twice.
And real quick, by the way, she was placed under arrest for assault on a public servant because she allegedly swung her elbows at him and kicked him.
Yeah. I want why she's out of the car was what we're talking about here. So was there anything outstanding on you, Steve? I mean, why are they asking you to get out of the car in the first place? In point of fact, you'd be safer in the car, which is why police don't want you jumping out of your car. And they'd be safer in the car.
I assumed a search, and I assumed a search for drugs or something. So I just complied because I had nothing to worry about.
Okay. Thanks for the call, Steve.
And real quick, this is what he said. He asked, when she was sitting in the car, he asked her if she was okay, and she seemed irritated. And she said, because I feel like it's crap for what I'm getting a ticket for. I was getting out of your way. You were speeding up, tailing me, so I moved over, and you stopped me. So she seemed irritated, and then it went from there to what you saw in the video.
Have you ever been pulled? I mean, I've been pulled over, and I'm irritated with a cop.
Oh, I don't show any emotion.
Well, I have, and it
except for when I cry.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Oh, here come the waterworks.
I PTSD.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. County commissioner routine. That's a classic, instant classic. But I've been like, what? Or I've got a ticket. I think I got a ticket in Wheaton one time for like doing 37 and 30. I'm like, come on, 37 to 30. Are you
said
serious?
That to the cop?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So
you're lucky you didn't get Sandra Bland.
Yeah, right. Pulled out of my and beaten to death. I mean, in prison. It's ridiculous, and it's funny, but it's not funny because Sandra Bland should be alive. This is a terrible case. And the officer acted, he's just reckless disregard. Dan in Libertyville.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. A lot of folks are not aware that in Illinois, it was actually a felony for almost 50 years to record, photograph, or videotape a police officer. And Lisa Madigan fought it all the way to the Supreme Court until they laughed at her attorneys for thinking that the police had more rights than the citizens. If she had not had that video, we wouldn't be talking. There'd be no proof of what happened. There would be the officer's statements, and that's all you'd have.
Yeah, right. That's right. Thanks for the call, Dan. Right, okay. Art and McHenry.
Hi, it sounds like it was escalated before she started recording. I mean, I'd like to know what happened before she started recording. That's the reason he was answering to get out of the car. It sounded like it was all escalated before she started recording.
I just mentioned, he said that things got
Thanks for the
tense.
call, Art.
This is what he said during the court proceeding, that things got tense when he asked her if she was okay, and she seemed irritated. And she said, I feel like blank crap for what I'm getting a ticket for. I was trying to get out of your way. You were speeding up, tailing me, so I moved over, and you stopped me? Yeah, I am a little irritated, but that doesn't stop you from giving me a ticket.
That is not escalation. That is not, I fear for my safety now because she disagrees with getting a ticket, and she explained why she disagreed.
Then he asked her to put out her cigarette, and then she became even more irritated. This is according to court transcripts. And asked why I'm in my car, and I can do what I want in my car.
And she's right. Absolutely right.
And then he said, well, you can step out now.
And that's wrong. He's absolutely wrong. She's absolutely right. He's absolutely wrong. Every step of the way. Every step of the way. I don't think this is a close case at all. Do not think this is a close case at all. And by the way, neither did the city. That's why they settled with for $2 million.
Sorry, I'm having a panic attack. I have PTSD.
Become an AM 560 business benefactor when you purchase a foursome to our annual golf outing, benefiting the families of fallen first responders. Call 312-363-6680 to reserve your spot today.
Townstone Financial is synonymous with great rates, low closing costs, and phenomenal service to the thousands who have completed purchases and refinances with us since 2002. Hi, my name is Barry Sterner, owner of Townstone Financial. Let's hear from Jim, who just completed a no-cost refinance with Townstone Financial.
We went through the experience with Townstone. The experience was amazing. We had a point person that took control of the refi. The communication was specific and exactly what we needed to do. That I was never in the dark in the process. So I knew when I needed to get documents. I knew exactly what I needed. I would recommend Townstone to anybody, and I do.
Remember, nobody values your business more than Townstone Financial, and I'm always available to answer your questions. Call me now at 312-896-2110. That's 312-896-2110, or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financial is licensed in Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida. NMLS 136639. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Equal housing lender.
When it's cold outside, you can dress for it. But when your furnace gives out, hey, a blanket fort can only do so much. So call your local 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. We'll replace your old furnace with a new high-efficiency one. And that beats a bunch of blankets any day. Right now, cozy up to big savings on a complete heating system. Call 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Hey, Craig and Leslie here from In the Know. Leslie, people have spring fever. Consumer confidence is up, and that means spending. We want folks to enjoy what they've worked so hard for, but don't forget...
Craig, are you trying to tell me something? I know. Retirement's right around the corner.
Listen, a new season is time for regrowth and building on what you already have. You don't need to do it alone if you have Wealth Management Group at your side.
Spring into action and make Wealth Management Group your go-to partner. And listen to In the Know Sunday mornings at 10 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Text from 815 just on the Sandra Bland case. They can order you out of the car. Yeah, they can. Talking about police. They can. It doesn't mean it was proper in that context. That's the discussion, of course. Coming up at 6:36, we're going to talk to Joe Ahern, the 100 Club of DuPage County. And we're going to talk about our golf outing The beneficiary being the 100 Club and the families of fallen police officers and firefighters.
And how you can sign up, 312-363-6680, 312-363-6680. But now let's head straight into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Light rain showers are falling, 46 degrees. At 6:31, for the second time in 3 days, there has been a fatal shooting outside a Mississippi police station, this time in the town of Lumberton, where a man was acting strangely, exposing himself, then pulled a gun on a police officer, then was shot when he refused to put that weapon down. The man shot himself. It's not clear yet which gunshot killed him, the man opening fire or police. Police in Colorado are confirming there are multiple injuries in a school shooting south of Denver.
We have 7 confirmed injuries, possibly 8.
Douglas County Undersheriff Holly Kluth saying 1 student was killed in yesterday's shooting, and there are 2 suspects in custody. New details about President Trump's finances show his business has lost over $1 billion in the 1980s and 90s. New York Times says it obtained the president's tax records from 1985 through 1994, and that the president claimed the most business losses of any American in a number of those years. The president paid no federal income taxes for 8 of the 10 years because of the high business losses. Firefighters in New York are investigating an overnight blaze in Harlem that killed 6, including 4 young children. Here in Chicago, a newborn baby is in stable condition after he was found abandoned on top of a trash can on Chicago's northwest side near Keystone and Wabansia. A major upset in Indiana elections yesterday. Lake County Assessor Jerome Prince is poised to win the Democratic mayoral primary in Gary, Indiana. It appears to knock incumbent Mayor Karen Freeman Wilson off the ballot. Chicago Mayor-elect Lori Lightfoot is trying to build relationships with powerful national figures, meeting with the Trump administration yesterday in Washington and then with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Chris Bryant's 3-run home run in the bottom of the 9th inning gave the Cubs a win over the Marlins 5-2. Red-hot White Sox shut out the Indians 2-0 in Cleveland. Lucas Giolito improving to 3-1 on the year. The News is a service of Wyndham Hotels and Resorts. With more than 6,000 hotels across the country, including La Quinta, Days Inn, and Super 8, a great hotel by Wyndham is closer than you think. Find one near you and book direct at wyndhamhotels.com. 6:33 is our time, and we'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Become an AM 560 business benefactor when you purchase a foursome to our annual golf outing benefiting the 100 clubs of Chicago, DuPage, and Will counties. Presented by Clear Financial. In addition to enjoying a full day of golf, a buffet lunch, and a silent auction, your company will also receive 25 60-second commercials that will air right here on AM 560 to promote your business. Purchase a foursome today by calling 312-363-6680. That's 312-363-6680.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house, the quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. You know, spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
This is Dr. Howard, founder and formulator of Balance of Nature. We're changing America, one life at a time.
It just makes my body feel like I can function. I'm not in as much pain, and I feel happy, and my skin is glowing. So, what else can I say? What's better than your skin glowing? For a woman of almost 70 years old, what's better than your skin having that glow, that youthful glow?
From now until May 10th, receive a 15% discount and free shipping on your first preferred order of Balance of Nature. And just in time for Mother's Day, receive an extra $10 off any additional set of fruits and veggies you purchase. This offer will end on May 10th, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
It is 6:36, and let's get an update on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
In St. Charles, Redgate Road remains closed between Randall and Meadowview after a crash and fire with injuries involved. To get to St. Charles North High School, the only access right now is from the east and Meadowview. Edens runs 22 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose. Kennedy, 36 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. A tad quicker the Express. Eisenhower, 45 minutes, 390 to downtown. 30 from Manheim. Stevenson, 52 minutes, 355 to the drive. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57, 20 minutes, 90 to the merge, Bishopford 30. Delays on the northbound tri-state, 115th and Ridgeland, the 83rd Street toll. Plainfield Road to Ogden, and Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Couple of morning showers, otherwise cloudy, breezy, and 64. Overcast, couple of showers, maybe a heavy thunderstorm overnight, a low of 60. Currently 46 and light rain showers. Your next news update is at 7. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs powered by Tandem HR. Heard Sunday evenings at 6.
When you've got questions, he always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity this afternoon at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Dan and Amy bring a lot of those water balls on June 24th when we have our little golf outing at Mistwood in Romeoville, presented by Clear Financial Strategies. It's a 100 Club golf outing because that's the beneficiary of some of the proceeds that are raised. And we're pleased to be joined in studio by Joe Ahern and Caitlin Brennan. Joe, the CEO of the 100 Club of DuPage County. Caitlin Brennan, the COO. Joe and Caitlin, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. This is our third year partnering with the 100 Club. It's been great, and it's been great for us because you guys do such great work supporting families of fallen police officers and firefighters. So just a little bit of the backstory again on the 100 Club, what you guys do.
Well, the 100 Club supports the families of fallen police officers, firefighters, state, local, federal law enforcement in Cook, Lake, and McHenry County. When a police officer or firefighter dies in the line of duty, we show up immediately. We provide financial assistance, a total of $50,000 to the surviving spouse, and then we send all the kids to college. So we've had 273 line-of-duty deaths over the last 52 years, and we have provided over $11 million to these families.
So since you help with their continuing education, the need to raise money is great. There's a real need out there.
Yeah, it really is, Amy. We have 30 children right now. They're all sons and daughters of police officers and firefighters who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. They're in college right now. And we have 81 additional children. And sadly, in the last year, we've had 8 line-of-duty deaths with 17 children left behind. So you can do the math. It's about $5 million, almost $6 million of additional financial need that we'll have over the next 18 years to provide for these families.
I'd be remiss if you didn't ask about Commander Paul Bauer and his family and how that's proceeding. I know you had a close relationship with them after he was killed in the line of duty downtown.
Yeah, I did, Dan, and there's been a tremendous outpouring for Commander Bauer, but they're doing well. The family is so close knit. They're going to be in Washington next week to be part of the National Police Recognition Ceremony to go on the wall at the candlelight vigil, and Caitlin and I will be there, and it's it's tough. I mean, they're having a tough time, but thank God for all the support that they get from the people that support the 100 Club and support our law enforcement.
I love hearing the stories. So, I mean, just a story or two about some of the families served and what the kids have gone on to do with the support you provided for their education.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's so many, Dan, that, we go back to firefighter Mickey Johnson, that was two sons were Marines, and Captain Herbie Johnson was killed in November of 2012 and left behind two boys and a daughter, and the two boys were Marines, and now one is a firefighter and another is a police officer. And so these are generations of family members that continue to give back to our communities.
So do you ever lay awake at night and think, we're not going to get $5 to $6 million to help the 17 children that were left behind this year?
Well,
I mean, is it always weighing heavy on your heart?
No, it really is, Amy. You get up every day and hoping that that horrible tragedy isn't going to happen, and you always feel like we're a banana peel away from a terrible tragedy. 9/11, you remember there was, I think, 374 firefighters that died, and approximately 70 police officers that ultimately died, and it's just a horrific tragedy. The firefighters in Prescott, Arizona, they had 19 firefighters killed in one incident. Oh. So we always think about that.
Go through the process with us when you have a police officer or a first responder who's killed in the line of duty, and then you guys roll into action. How does that proceed?
Well, let me turn it over to Caitlin.
Yeah.
Because she really is the point person, along with me, on providing for the families.
Sure. So when we hear about a line of duty death or a tragic incident, we respond within the first 12 to 24 hours to assist the family. Support services, part of that is just being there with the family and listening and seeing what kind of support we can help with. We also provide that immediate financial assistance. We're there for services. We're there for the family immediately, and then also for higher education in years to come. Some families, there's children who are already in college, so that assistance is immediate. In some families, tragically, like the families we've had as of late, the children are all very little.
Because a lot of people don't plan for financially. Funerals are expensive.
Yes.
I mean, so do they sometimes ask you to help plan the funeral, line up a funeral home?
Sure. So there's, along with ourselves, there's other support organizations who do assist. But yes, sometimes we assist with planning, assist with things down to walking the family through what they can expect.
Yeah, well, that's important because it's uncharted territories for them.
Well, and one of the biggest things you have to remember, too, is when these line of duty deaths happen, it's a national scale. It is a media fanfare. People know about these families. They're going to see their families on TV. They're going to see the tragedy on TV. So that's a lot to prepare a family for.
The genesis of the 100 Club, the idea that gave rise to the clubs around the country, and how it's evolved over the last 50 years.
Yeah, Dan, it started in 1952 in Detroit, Michigan. A police officer was tragically shot and killed. A Pontiac car dealer read about the widow was going to lose her home. He went and paid off her mortgage. And a month later, another police officer was shot and killed. This same Pontiac car dealer reached out to two friends, a furniture dealer and a drugstore owner, and they reached out to 100 friends and said, let's start something to help these families. So that's how the name stuck, the 100 Club. And now there's over 125 organizations around the country that all have pretty much the same mission to help provide for these police and fires around the country, but it's virtually around the country.
And the evolution has municipalities, states, have they started to do more to fill in the gaps over that period of time that you guys continue to fill, like with child's education?
Yeah, exactly. And I got a call last night from Connecticut from a fellow who was a retired Connecticut state trooper who is the executive director of the 100 Club in Connecticut, and was calling to ask us about how we do and what benefits we provide. So it's growing around the country, and ours started in August of 1966. So this August 27th will be our 53rd year that we've been doing this. And thank God for the people that continue to support us, and for AM 560. I know this is our third year that you have the golf outing, and it's just a great platform for us to be able to tell our story, reach out to people in Chicago and the surrounding communities to help provide financial assistance to the 100 Club.
And we can't say the number enough to sign up for our golf tournament. 312-363-6680. Enjoy a day of golf, but also you're supporting the 100 Club of Chicago, the 100 Club of DuPage County. Again, 312-363-6680.
And there's two shotguns. There's a 7:30 a.m. shotgun and a 2 p.m. So after lunch, shotgun lunch is 12 to 2 p.m. So you can go early or you can go later. Obviously, since we're on the air,
yes,
we'll be at the 2 p.m. one, and
yes.
Joe will be at the 7:30 one. The foursome, $1,196, and with that, you get 25 60-second commercials to promote your business on our airwaves. They'll run 5 a.m. to 10 p.m., our prime broadcasting hours during the week. That's a $3,000 value in advertising you're getting for $1,200, basically $1,196 to be specific, and you're supporting the 100 Club in so doing.
So if you're a business owner, manager, or the person who makes marketing decisions for your company, again, here's the deal. A foursome for $1,196. And as a way of saying thank you, we will give you 25 60-second commercials to promote your business right here on AM 560. It's the best deal in radio advertising in the Chicagoland area. And again, the proceeds go to help the 100 Club of Chicago. 312-363-6680, 312-363-6680. And you can also purchase Team Amy, Team Dan, or Team Joe, a foursome for $2,000, and play a round of golf with us, and then we can also voice your commercials.
Yeah, and you really, obviously.
I mean, Dan thinks he should go for $4,000 to $5,000.
$5,000.
Because he really talks a big game. He does practice a lot. Not practice. You play a lot.
Yeah, I play the game.
Excuse me.
I play the game. I respect the game. I wear knickers like Payne Stewart did to honor the game.
Really?
Amy, Joe. It's a sliding scale down. You're
me.
better than Walsh.
Well, yeah.
But,
I'm athletic and I do play, and I actually own my own golf clubs.
Yeah. But, I mean, who has better legs for the golf skirt? You decide.
Well,
we'll both
Joe
have them
wears
on.
jean shorts, which are called jorts.
He's not wearing.
Hopefully, he won't wear the jorts this year.
If he's wearing jean shorts, I will have Jim McQuethy remove him from the property.
Okay.
He's going to be in proper golf attire, as is everybody else. All right.
But is the Mistwood Golf Club, is it challenging? Because I've never been there.
And we've been doing this at Bolingbrook. Mistwood's right down the road, right off Weber Road in Romeoville. So it's basically the same travel time if you're coming from the city or the burbs. It is a great track. It's really a good public track. And it's a fun course. It's not an easy course, but it's a fun course. So again, 312-363-6680. Sign up now. Joe Ahern, CEO of the 100 Club. Caitlin Brennan, COO of the 100 Club. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much. Thanks.
Purchase a foursome at the AM 560 golf outing to support the families of fallen first responders. Call 312-363-6680. That's 312-363-6680.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Job openings surge again, and Georgia governor defies the Hollywood boycott, and Johnson & Johnson to write a $1 billion hip check. Those stories next.
Have you ever seen a pest controller spraying chemicals in your home? It makes you wonder, if their chemicals are safe, then why do they suit up and wear respirators only to leave you to walk back in unprotected? G'day, I'm Scott from Plug-in Pest Free, and I'm here to tell you there's a better way. In an age where we now have the choice to drive electric cars, you too can electronically rid your home or business of unwanted rodents and pests. The answer is Plug-in Pest Free. 100% chemical-free, Plug-in Pest Free is your safest bet for your family and pets. Our bestseller, the Plug-in Pest Free Pro, will cover up to 4,000 square feet. Now that's fair dinkum. So order yours today at gopestfree.com. Use promo code SAVE20 for 20% off plus free shipping and a 60-day money-back guarantee. That's gopestfree.com, promo code SAVE20. Don't spray and regret. Plug in and forget. Gopestfree.com today.
Job openings rebounded sharply in March. The Labor Department reports job openings surged by 346,000 in March. And defying Hollywood lefties who threatened to boycott producing movies or television shows in his state, Georgia's Governor Brian Kemp has signed legislation nonetheless. Georgia now banning abortions once a fetal heartbeat is detected. Johnson & Johnson says it will pay $1 billion to resolve nearly 6,000 cases of defective hip implants. Those implants eventually had to be removed. The metal-on-metal implants left thousands of patients in pain and unable to walk. $1 billion well spent. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 o'clock and 10 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
If you have pain, listen up. Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So, Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
My name is David Hochberg at Team Hochberg. If you're credit challenged, Team Hochberg has a special offer. Credit enhancement expert Gary Novell has taught me everything I know about credit and has helped thousands of radio listeners enhance their credit. If your credit is prohibiting you from purchasing a home or refinancing your existing home, Gary will help. Here's how it works. Call Team Hochberg now at 855-56-DAVID and we'll introduce you to Gary Novell. Invest in yourself by hiring Gary to enhance your credit, and Team Hochberg will refund Gary's fee when Team Hochberg closes your loan. If you'd like a professional to enhance your credit so you could purchase a home or refinance your existing home, call the local mortgage experts on Team Hochberg now at 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-56-DAVID. That's 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com.
Homeside Financial Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, MB 66761019, NMLS 1124061.
Message and data rates may apply. Please don't text while driving.
If you've been in business more than 20 minutes, you've probably printed your logo on all kinds of promotional products. We all know promotional products work because they're everywhere from sales meetings and corporate events to trade shows. Ever wondered why or how to best use promotional products to grow your business? Let us show you today for free. We're 4imprint, promotional product experts at your service. We're giving away an ebook called Promotional Products Work, absolutely free, to everyone who texts radio to 88988. At 4imprint, we make your logo look perfect on thousands of promotional items. With our 100% guarantee, it'll be right the first time, on time, every time. Your free ebook will reveal valuable insights that can attract new customers, build your brand, help your cause, or simply grow your business. Get the ebook Promotional Products Work absolutely free by texting radio to 88988. That's RADIO to 88988.
This is Dr. Howard, founder and formulator of Balance of Nature. We're changing America, one life at a time.
Every time you turn around, there's a new ad on the TV set. Bad drug, call this lawyer. Are you on this, that, or the other? And it's all the stuff they're promoting the year before. I've got stomach issues, regular arthritis people have my age, and I wanted to get better, you know. Anything I can do that's healthy, that's natural, it makes sense. Tell Dr. Howard I really, really appreciate he made this stuff because I'll tell you, it really makes a big difference. Everything seems to be better.
From now until May 10th, receive a 15% discount and free shipping on your first preferred order of Balance of Nature. And just in time for Mother's Day, receive an extra $10 off any additional set of fruits and veggies you purchase. This offer will end on May 10th, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, we talked about this D-bag state representative from Pennsylvania yesterday, Brian Sims. He is the guy who accosted a sidewalk counselor outside a Planned Parenthood clinic in his district and harangued her for 8 minutes uninterrupted while she was just trying to walk away from him in silence and continue her prayerful counsel of those going to a Planned Parenthood clinic, which of course is her legal right to do.
Hi everyone, Representative Brian Sims here, and I'm once again out in front of Planned Parenthood of Southeastern Pennsylvania. It's not only in my district, it's the most heavily protested Planned Parenthood, I believe, in the country. And today's protester, now, she is an old white lady who's going to try to avoid showing you her face.
Nice way to address a woman.
But the
old
same
white lady.
laws, luckily, that
OW
protect her
in
from being
his
out
eyes.
here also protect me from showing you who she is. And so my hope is that you'll donate $100 for every extra hour that this woman is out here telling people what's right for their bodies. So I have a couple questions for you, ma'am. How many children have you clothed today? I'm sorry, I missed your answer. How many children have you clothed today? How about how many children have you put shoes on their feet today? Have you fed any children today, or have you just stood out in front of a Planned Parenthood shaming people for something that they have a constitutional right to do? Huh? If you're here about the children, you can pray at home for children. It's probably the same place that you could feed a child.
And she persisted, to borrow a phrase, in silence, and he persisted being obnoxious.
There are women that come here from counties away, miles away, because people like you are standing out in front of their Planned Parenthood, shaming them. You must have something to say. You've had something to say to every single woman that's come in here, every single couple that's come in here. You've had something to say, something to hand them. And yet now that you're on camera, you have nothing to say and nothing to do about this. Shame on you. There's not a person coming here that needs your advice on what to do with their bodies. Not one. An old white lady telling people what's right to do with their bodies. Shame on you. Shame. Shame. Shame on you. There's no faith that tells you you are right and everybody else is wrong. There's no faith that tells you it's your job to stand out here and shame people for something that they have a right to do. This is disgusting. This is wrong. This is shameful.
Can he stop saying shame? I mean, and also too in that
Not
video.
until she does the walk of atonement.
Shame.
Yes.
Shame. Shame. But he also encouraged people to find out her home address so that they could protest in front of her house.
Sure. He's
a big bully.
He tweeted a response to all the interest in his video that he got. I will fiercely protect a woman's right to make the best choices for her health and her body unimpeded. I also know that two wrongs don't make a right.
Okay.
It's so insightful, especially on the front lines of a civil rights battle. I can do better, and I will do better for the women of Pennsylvania. So who was shameful and who got shamed after all? Interesting. By the way, reinforcements are en route. Abby Johnson.
Oh, yeah, from Unplanned.
Unplanned, the movie, right?
I have yet to see that. Have you seen it yet?
Not, yeah, I have. It's excellent. Her, and remember, Abby Johnson, former Planned Parenthood clinic director turned pro-life activist. Rally today rally 11 a.m. on Friday at the same Planned Parenthood where he was accosting this woman verbally. 11 a.m. on Friday. A bunch of different pro-life groups reached out to me. This is Matt Walsh tweeting. After I sent the original tweet out, this all came together quickly. We invite Brian Sims to come with his camera.
Oh, there you go.
Come on out, Brian.
Open invitation.
So Abby Johnson and Lila Rose from Live Action and a lot of pro-lifers are going to come together, and they're going to avail them or provide themselves for Brian Sims if he wants to have a conversation with them, and he's welcome to video it. This is good stuff.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Lori Lightfoot goes to Washington. She meets with Ivanka Trump, and the real reason why Joe Biden is so touchy-feely. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
A big upset in Indiana municipal elections. The Cubs investigating an apparent racist hand gesture. A couple of showers this morning. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
A fake news hit job. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump calls a New York Times report on his taxes from decades ago, calling it highly inaccurate.
From 1985 to 1994, he reported business losses of about $1.17 billion. The Times says it appears the future president lost more money than nearly any other individual American taxpayer. And because of those losses, he paid no taxes for 8 of those 10 years.
Fox's Jill Nato. The president also tweeted real estate developers back then were entitled to massive write-offs. House Democrats, meanwhile, may subpoena the IRS after the Treasury Secretary refused to hand over the president's recent tax returns. A vote in the House today could target the Attorney General for refusing to show up at a hearing last week and refusing to hand over the unredacted Mueller report and underlying evidence. Fox's Rachel Sutherland, live in Washington.
Dave, the tug of war between House Democrats and the Justice Department heads to the Judiciary Committee for a markup session on holding Attorney General William Barr in contempt of Congress. From there, a citation would go to the full House for a vote. Democratic Congressman Jamie Raskin.
And at that point, we have to decide how to enforce it.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says it's time to move on.
The special counsel's finding is clear. Case closed.
A contempt citation would likely set up a protracted court battle that could go up to the U.S. Supreme Court. Dave?
Rachel, an appeals court's given the president a victory overruling a judge's order that had blocked the policy of sending illegal immigrants who seek asylum to Mexico to wait for their claims to be heard. There's no school today at STEM Highlands Ranch in Colorado the day after 2 students opened fire there, killing 1 student, wounding 8 others.
The sheriff says the 2 gunmen walked into the building, got deep into the school before they began shooting in 2 different classrooms. Officers arrived within 2 minutes of getting the call and say they could hear gunshots as they ran into the school.
Fox's Alicia Cunha. This is Fox News.
Light rain showers, 46 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560, The Answer. And good morning. I'm Mike Scott. A newborn baby is in stable condition this hour after he was found abandoned on top of a trash can on Chicago's northwest side. Chicago Fire says a woman and her daughter discovered the child yesterday inside of a shopping bag in an alley near Keystone and Wabansia. The boy was taken to a nearby firehouse where paramedics performed life-saving measures.
We won't judge. Don't leave your baby in an alley. Come to a firehouse. Leave the baby there. Give the kid a chance.
Police are trying to find the person who abandoned the child. R. Kelly's lawyer says he's not seen that VHS tape that allegedly shows the singer having sex with a 14-year-old girl nearly 2 decades ago. During a hearing yesterday on the singer's sex abuse case, Stephen Greenberg says county prosecutors, he believes, are in the process of making the defense a copy of that tape. A major upset in Indiana elections yesterday as Lake County Assessor Jerome Prince apparently poised to win the Democratic mayoral primary and knock out incumbent Gary, Indiana Mayor Karen Freeman Wilson off the ballot. A court-appointed attorney for the Northern Illinois man accused of murdering his 2-year-old son wants a psychological evaluation of his client. Public defender filed a motion in the McHenry County Circuit Court seeking an exam for Andrew Friend, Sr. Well, parents of students heading to Bloomington, this is apparently a little good news for you. Illinois State University administrators are recommending a tuition freeze for the coming academic year. Also, no change in residence hall or dining rates for Redbird fans. Cubs over the Marlins 5-2. White Sox shut out the Indians 2-0. Fire and New England Revolution on the pitch tonight. The news service of InvisibleFence.com. Pet parents trust Invisible Fence brand to protect their pets from escape and provide extra freedom. For a limited time, get 50% off the installation of a Boundary Plus containment system. Awarded a Consumer's Digest Best Buy. Visit InvisibleFence.com to learn more. InvisibleFence.com. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Today is 100 Club Day on AM 560 The Answer. Purchase a foursome at our upcoming golf outing on Monday, June 24th at the Mistwood Golf Course in Romeoville. Presented by Clear Financial. A portion of the proceeds will go to benefit the 100 clubs of Chicago, DuPage County, and Will County as they assist the families of fallen first responders. To purchase a foursome today only, call 312-363-6680. That's 312-363-6680.
All money managers might seem the same. But while some give their clients cookie-cutter portfolios, Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to your goals and needs. Some only call when they have something to sell. Fisher calls regularly, so you stay informed. And while some advisors are happy to earn commissions whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come from other money managers. So if you're in or nearing retirement, talk with us and find out why investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments. Clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
Hi, it's Amy Jacobson, and before you buy a new expensive mattress, I urge you to consider the MyPillow mattress topper. It's a lot less expensive and will totally revitalize your mattress. I have one, and frankly, I don't know if I love MyPillow or MyPillow mattress topper more. It's that good, and you'll get the best sleep of your life. Order now and get 30% off plus 2 free standard MyPillows. The exclusive 3-layer design includes MyPillow foam for support, transitional foam to help relieve pressure points, and an ultra-soft patented temperature-regulating cover that's washable and dryable. Plus, Mike Lindell's 60-day money-back guarantee. You'll get the total body support you need, sleep better, and save a lot of money. Save 30% off your MyPillow mattress topper when you use promo code AMY. Plus, you'll receive 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free. So visit MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201, promo code AMY.
With more than 6,000 hotels across the country, including La Quinta, Days Inn, and Super 8, a great hotel by Wyndham is closer than you think. Find one near you and book direct at WyndhamHotels.com.
7:07. Let's get an update on the roads now in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Eden's inbound delays start at 2. It's 30 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 21. Kennedy, looking at 50 minutes now, O'Hare to downtown. 23 from Montrose, 18 on the Express. Outbound 40 to the airport on Eisenhower. 52 minutes, 390 to downtown. 37 from Mannheim. Outbound 45 minutes to 390. Mount Stevenson delays start at Weber, and it's an hour and 2 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 38 minutes. The Ryan, 33 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, Bishop Ford, both 31 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Northbound Tri-State, it's jammed. Cicero to Stevenson, a crash blocking 2 left lanes. Then it's heavy 47th to the Grand Avenue curve. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center and meteorologist Steve Williams.
Couple of showers around this morning, otherwise a cloudy, breezy day, high 64. Overcast, showers, heavy thunderstorm tonight, low 60. A couple of showers, thunderstorm tomorrow morning, otherwise cloudy and breezy, high tomorrow 69. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
46 and light rain at O'Hare currently. Next news at 7:30. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy want to update a story that broke late yesterday. The school shooting in Colorado at a charter school in Highlands Ranch, Colorado, a STEM charter school. 1 dead, 8 hurt, 2 in custody. This is 2 students who opened fire inside this charter school in an affluent suburb of Denver, not far from Columbine, and a week after memorializing the 20th anniversary of the Columbine shooting.
Yeah, the head coach of the Denver Nuggets, he lives in that neighborhood. That's his school, and he has 2 daughters, and he was very upset after their playoff game last night, as are all parents and all people in this world who this is the 33rd school shooting since classes began in August. And just the anguish in this mother's voice when she's trying to find out where her son is and who was shot.
Where are you located right now?
Northbridge Rec Center.
That's where they're taking you. Are they taking you in a bus? How are you getting transported there?
They're taking us, Mom. I don't know.
How many kids were shot?
I don't know, Mom.
The two gunmen, students at the school, they said that they hid inside in separate locations and started firing at the same time. One kid brought a gun in, allegedly in a guitar case. And they've been apprehended. They're being questioned right now.
Brad Bialy spoke to the press, this is from a New York Times piece, saying his oldest son, Brendan, who's a senior, told him that he was in class when gunfire erupted. He said his son told him that two students entered the classroom. One pulled a gun out of that guitar case, as you said. He went on, Mr. Bialy said, to describe that his son and two friends tried to tackle the gunman, but one of the boys was shot in the chest. Other students tried to staunch the bleeding by putting pressure on his chest, but that was the one person who was murdered by the two gunmen. So again, very much like UNC Charlotte last week, you've got now multiple heroes here, and unfortunately one of those heroes who tried to stop the shooting and protect fellow students, stop the shooters and protect his fellow students, didn't make it.
And here's one student who saw the bullets fly.
Very, very comforting, because not knowing if we would make it out or what, since we didn't know how many there were or anything.
And they've gone through, every school now, instead of having tornado drills now, Dan, everyone has active shooting drills. And so the police said they did the right thing, separate classroom, turn off the lights, hide in the corners or the closet, and be still. And lock the door. Yeah,
and there's still some questions, too. There often are in the wake of a horrific incident, the immediacy of a horrific incident like this. One is that there was no police officer assigned to the school, but they did use private security. And the sheriff, the local sheriff there, did not say what the security service may have done or not done during the shooting. Obviously, law enforcement arrived. They were able to secure the two shooters without injuring them, which is no easy feat either. So between the students and law enforcement, this is a school of 800 kids, K through 12th grade. It could have been obviously a lot worse, but it's still horrific that you had this 18-year-old kid killed.
And police said all the victims or people that were shot, again, one died, but they're all 15 years and older. So the preschool, the elementary school area wasn't affected. They went in through the middle school doors. And it happened in the final period of the day. And again, it's so upsetting, because you just think, when we were growing up, school it's a safe place. And now schools are not safe places. And now everyone's going through active shooter drills. And also, too, learning how to make a tourniquet. If they're shot, if their arms, if there's anything that, to stop the bleeding, they learn how to do that, too.
The data suggests, I don't mean to be sterile about this, but the data suggests schools are safe places, some of the safest places in society. But it doesn't minimize the fact that when these events happen, these crimes happen, they are horrifying. Of course they are. And so this is the discussion, again, just this discussion about living in a free society. At some point, whether you want to be or not, it's not unlikely that you will be charged with providing for your protection. I know the police are there and you can have security, but at some point, so the serious discussion right now, in real time, if you want to do something, is not virtue signaling gun control legislation. It's hardening targets, because that's what you have to do until we can deal with hardened hearts in this free society.
Golf with AM 560 on Monday, June 24th at our annual golf outing to support the families of fallen first responders. Call 312-363-6680 to reserve your foursome.
The quivers, the shivers, goosebumps. That's what our customers say before 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning repairs their furnace. Call us. We'll fix it right, stand by our work, and give you our straightforward pricing, which means no hourly charges. How's that for goosebumps? Right now, get big savings on any heating repair. Call 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Sutton Transport is having a career fair at their terminal at 4711 Lawndale Avenue in Lyons, Illinois, on Monday, May 13th, from 4 to 8 p.m. Sutton Transport is hiring for a variety of CDL Class A driving positions, including local and regional routes. Applications will be available with interviews held on site. Sutton offers career advancement opportunities, consistent schedules, full benefits package, and newer equipment. To check out careers, go to suttontrans.com. Sutton Transport is an equal opportunity employer.
We have to talk about it.
Nope, I don't wanna.
We have to.
No.
But we need life insurance.
I am not listening to you.
So you don't love me then?
What? Oh, fine. We need life insurance, but all the paperwork, it's such a pain.
Not with Ethos.
Ethos? Is that some kind of yoga thing?
No, Ethos is life insurance for people like us.
Like us?
People who don't have time for fine print, insurance jargon, and hidden fees.
Yeah, I pretty much hate all that stuff.
Of course you do. With Ethos, you can apply online, and there's a policy for every budget.
Really?
Yes. The online application only takes 10 minutes, and you'll be taking the first step in ensuring the kids and I will be safe, even if something unexpected happens.
Ethos brings you choices that don't require an in-person meeting with an agent, and in most cases, there's no need for a doctor's appointment.
Feel better?
Yeah. I do.
Ethos, life insurance made simple. Apply online in just 10 minutes. Get a free instant quote now at ethoslife.com. That's ETHOS life.com. Ethoslife.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, we talked about the marijuana legalization that Governor Spalding is advancing through the General Assembly, and they're trying to move on a post-haste bill that's 300 pages long, as the Chicago Tribune opines. Suggests that bill that long and that's that complicated, that has such potential consequences as so experienced and debated in states that have legalized marijuana, like Washington and Colorado. Maybe you should slow down a little bit and let's hash some of this out, so to speak. Part of our concern, the Tribune writes, is that elected officials are so attracted to legal pot as a new source of tax revenue that they're already counting the money instead of considering the consequences. Now, this from an editorial board that supports medical marijuana, supports the decriminalization, and is inclined to support legalization, but wants the process to be more thoughtful. Well, if they want the process to be more thoughtful, they came to the wrong General Assembly, because that's not going to happen. But we can be thoughtful here. We can actually discuss some of these interesting aspects of the legislation and the philosophy behind it. For example, we're going to legalize marijuana, and we're going to use the tax revenue from marijuana to support local law enforcement, who is then going to be charged with arresting people committing crimes associated with drug use.
Or the revenue is going to go to addiction centers to help people get off the thing that we're trying to hook them onto.
Right.
In the first place.
Yeah, there's some curiousness to the proposal, but it's not unusual. It's the same thing with state-run gambling, the lottery, especially, which is effectively works out as a regressive tax on the poor. Predatory government aligned against the interests of its residents, because all the residents are subjects that exist to generate revenue for the state, and that's the way that the political class in this state looks at it. But it's not the way everybody looks at it. Alex Berenson's a former New York Times reporter. He's also the author of the book Tell Your Children: The Truth About Marijuana, Mental Illness, and Violence, and he's got a recent piece in the Wall Street Journal that could inform our General Assembly if they were capable of being informed. Alex, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me on.
So the piece in the Journal, Weeding Out Dubious Marijuana Science, we've talked about this before, including with you, about the spike in emergency room visits in Colorado, about the increase in substance-related traffic accidents in Colorado, some of the studies that have been done. But this is sort of given short shrift by the proponents of legalization by comparing it to drunk driving and the alcohol use, and otherwise suggesting that there's just not enough evidence that we have at this point to make definitive conclusions about what the world with marijuana being a legal consumer product will look like.
Yeah, that's true. It's actually much worse than that. And my book really focuses on one major impact of marijuana use, which is psychosis, and then the violence that is associated with psychosis. I actually, to be honest, when I wrote the book, which was last year and the year before, I really wasn't aware of how bad the driving data is. That in Colorado and Washington, driving deaths are up about 30% post-legalization. And even if you adjust for the fact that those states have grown a little bit faster than the population, and that, people driving is up a little bit there compared to the national population, it's still up much more. And what's happened is that for reasons that I honestly don't understand, I don't know if they're ideological, I don't know if they're financial, I suspect more ideological than financial. The professoriate, the academic left, which is, unfortunately most of academia is not ideologically balanced, which I think we can all agree, whether we're on the left or the right, a more balanced academia would be a good thing. The academic left doesn't want to deal with the reality here. And so they come up with a lot of studies that essentially throw out the top line data, the real data. And they look at county level data over a period of months, or they look at, non-fatal accidents, or they look at all kinds of stuff, and then they use it to say, well, if we squint really hard and we twist the data really crazily, we can say that we can't say that marijuana is better. You can't get there, okay? But what you can say is there's not proof that cannabis is causing any of this. So therefore, we say that legalization hasn't produced any negative effects. And to me, this is a crazy way to look at this. Okay, there are real people dying in real accidents, and the presumption should be that introducing this substance, which we know impairs cognition and we know in some cases makes people psychotic, might be responsible for that. So prove to me it's not. Don't say to me, if I do X, Y, and Z, it looks like maybe I can make some of this increase go away. And there's an academic at the University of Oregon named Ben Hansen who is particularly guilty of this. And that's why I'm naming him, because I don't think that people should be allowed to do this when there are real lives on the line.
Wow. So what do you suggest that you tell your kids about the legalization of marijuana? Because right now, and when we were growing up, it was not legal. And it's still a banned substance, but I have teenage children. Dan has fictitious children that likes to pretend they're his.
Yes.
But what do we tell our kids?
I think you tell them that, assuming that it is legalized in Illinois, and we'll see. It hasn't happened in New York and New Jersey, which are the states I know the best. And those are obviously blue states that are pretty money hungry too. So maybe it won't happen in Illinois. But if it does happen, I would say, you say to them, look, this just because it's legal doesn't mean it's safe. Alcohol is legal, and that's not a great idea for kids. Tobacco is legal, and that kills people. So just know that governments have a lot of reasons to make something legal or not that have nothing to do with its safety. So I would start with that.
Well, right, and the irony in Illinois is, as we're advancing the marijuana legalization legislation, the General Assembly and the governor just signed legislation to increase the smoking age to 21 from 18.
Right.
So it's bizarre.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
But to me that speaks to. I know you said this is more ideological than financial in some respects, and that seems to me an example of this being ideology, this being sort of genuflecting at the altar of marijuana, which is an odd thing to do, but it seems that that's the case in certain quarters.
I absolutely agree. And what I don't understand about this is there's a perfectly reasonable argument from the right to legalize marijuana, right? Which is basically a libertarian argument.
Mm-hmm.
This is your body, and as long as you use it in a way that's not harmful to other people, you don't get into a car accident, you don't hurt somebody, so be it. Okay, but the argument that this is somehow medicine, that we're going to do this pretending that this is good for the population as a whole is what really upsets me, because it is so clearly untrue. And we now have real data from real states with real people dying that is simply being ignored. And if the government of Illinois, if the governor of Illinois or the governor of New York wants to say, and it's funny because these are nanny states, but if they want to say, in this case we buy the libertarian argument and we think we'll make a little bit extra money from it, but there's going to be problems, so be it. That's a legitimate argument. But to pretend that this is a positive somehow is just bizarre.
In your piece, though, now to again offer some support for the legalization crowd, this may be the most important study, at least for a certain demographic. A paper published in March, academic paper, that cannabis increases the incidence of satisfactory orgasms for women. And so I think you just flipped Amy.
There you go. No, I mean, people believe it's an aphrodisiac. It certainly, look, it enhances sensation, so you would think it would be good for sex. And that's fine, like, that's great, but, that's not a... I'm sorry, my daughter is yelling at me.
Oh, sure, probably about my question. Yeah, probably offended by my question in your op-ed. Yeah.
By the way, that study, it's funny because that was an example. The piece as a whole was about how bad a lot of the research is, and that research is a classic example of it because this study was reported in various online sites as, marijuana is really great for sex and for women. They didn't actually compare women who don't use marijuana to women who do. So what they compared was people who smoke all the time and didn't smoke before having sex this time to people who smoke all the time and did smoke before having sex. So maybe if you're like in withdrawal or something, you're less likely to have a satisfactory orgasm. But I'm not joking. That's the quality of a lot of this research.
So it's interesting because the paper in question is not only nihilistic, it's bad science. So it's a nihilistic argument predicated on bad science. That's an interesting twofer. I mean, that's not easy to do.
Well, it turns out it is pretty easy to do if you look at a lot of the social science research around marijuana. It's amazing to me how bad it is.
And the response from, again, the pro-legalization side is, say, the libertarian argument and also the science argument is, look, if you use marijuana in moderation, just like alcohol in moderation, a glass of wine with dinner sort of thing, I guess a joint after dinner sort of thing, then what's the big deal? Why are you being a nattering nabob? This is, you can do that and enjoy yourself and not have any deleterious health effects and stop getting into my business.
Yes, and look, there's some truth in that, okay? But the problem is that when you introduce an addictive substance to people, and marijuana is addictive, make no mistake, there's going to be some people who can't use it responsibly. And unfortunately, it looks like actually with marijuana, there's more people who can't use it responsibly than people who can't use alcohol responsibly. Because most people who use alcohol use it the way you're talking about. Most Americans drink, and most Americans drink very moderately. Most people who use cannabis, not most, but a significant number of the people who use cannabis smoke every day. And a lot of those people smoke all day, every day. So there's 40 million people who use cannabis, and 8 million of them use every day. And a lot of those people are, quote unquote, wake and bakers. They're using all day, every day. This is a dangerous drug.
Alex Barron,
legalize it on that basis.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. Anyway,
finish. Go ahead. Finish to legalize on that basis. Yeah.
Legalize it on that basis if you're going to legalize it. And that's really what Tell Your Children's all about. Just know what the risks are here.
He is Alex Berenson, former New York Times reporter. His book, Tell Your Children, The Truth About Marijuana, Mental Illness, and Violence, and his piece in the Wall Street Journal, Weeding Out Dubious Marijuana Science. Nice headline writer there. Alex, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me, guys.
Take care. He joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Golf with AM 560 on Monday, June 24th at our annual golf outing to support the families of fallen first responders. Call 312-363-6680 to reserve your foursome.
This is Dr. Howard, founder and formulator of Balance of Nature. We're changing America one life at a time.
Every time you turn around, there's a new ad on the TV set. Bad drug. Call this lawyer. Are you on this, that, or the other? And it's all the stuff they're promoting the year before. I've got stomach issues, regular arthritis people have my age, and I wanted to get better, Anything I can do that's healthy, that's natural, it makes sense. Tell Dr. Howard I really, really appreciate he made this stuff because I'll tell you, it really makes a big difference. Everything seems to be better.
From now until May 10th, receive a 15% discount and free shipping on your first preferred order of Balance of Nature. And just in time for Mother's Day, receive an extra $10 off any additional set of fruits and veggies you purchase. This offer will end on May 10th, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
It's 100 Club Day on Morning Answer today, and we'll be joined by a couple of representatives of the 100 Club of DuPage County. A portion of the proceeds from our golf outing again this year, which is June 24th, will go to the 100 Club of DuPage County that supports the families of police officers and first responders killed in line of duty. And we'll pick up that discussion at 7:37.
Yeah, and if you want to sign up for our golf outing because slots are filling up, call this number, 312-363-6680, 312-363-6680. Now let's get into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
We've had light rain across the area, 46 degrees. Police in Colorado moments ago say one of the suspects in yesterday's deadly high school shooting is a 17-year-old girl in custody, along with 18-year-old Devin Erickson.
I'm just a bit shaky. I'm scared, but I'm glad that I'm safe and I didn't get hurt, and I'm glad that a lot of people I know didn't get hurt either.
Students reacting after the shooting at the STEM school Highlands Ranch outside Denver that left 1 dead and 8 injured. The House Judiciary Committee will vote on a contempt of Congress citation for Attorney General Bill Barr and the Justice Department later this morning. Dangerous storms are again threatening the south central U.S. Tornadoes in Texas and into Oklahoma. Hail the size of baseballs falling in the region and flooding concerns. Federal court is upholding the Trump administration's policy to force illegal immigrants seeking asylum to wait in Mexico while their court cases proceed. A new report from the Illinois Auditor General is revealing stunning information about the state's troubled Department of Children and Family Services. A 3-year performance audit released yesterday shows 102 children who died between 2015 and 2017 have been the subjects of previous investigations of abuse or neglect by DCFS. However, experts say the trouble is systemic in DCFS and goes back decades. Major upset in Indiana elections yesterday. Lake County Assessor Jerome Prince is poised to win the Democratic mayoral primary and appears to knock out incumbent Gary, Indiana Mayor Karen Freeman Wilson off the ballot. Folks here in Chicago may have a difficult time finding a rideshare ride today. Thousands of Uber and Lyft drivers are planning to turn off their apps and go on strike for higher wages. Chris Bryant's 3-run home run in the bottom of the 9th inning gave the Cubs a 5-2 win over the Marlins at Wrigley.
It's nice to see good results the last 3 games, 4 games. I mean, honestly, back to, that homer I hit in Arizona. I felt locked in since then, so I'm just going to ride this wave.
KB was good. Lucas Giolito even better. 7 1/3 scoreless innings. White Sox blanked the Indians in Cleveland 2-0. The news service of Wyndham Hotels and Resorts. More than 6,000 hotels across the country, including La Quinta, Days Inn, and Super 8. A great hotel by Wyndham is closer than you think. Find one near you and book direct at wyndhamhotels.com. 7:33, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Become an AM 560 business benefactor when you purchase a foursome to our annual golf outing benefiting the 100 clubs of Chicago, DuPage, and Will counties. Presented by Clear Financial. In addition to enjoying a full day of golf, a buffet lunch, and a silent auction, your company will also receive 25 60-second commercials that will air right here on AM 560 to promote your business. Purchase a foursome today by calling 312-363-6680. That's 312-363-6680.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house, the quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. You know, spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
When John Mariotti started Woodland Windows and Doors in 1969, he knew that relationships were important. He knew that he needed to look out for his customers' best interests. Today, Woodland is run by the second and third generation of Mariottis, who continue to build great relationships and to service their customers. Homeowners and builders turn to Woodland Windows and Doors for the individual attention they get on each project. They have a huge selection of replacement windows, skylights, and doors, specialists who know their stuff, and professional installation. Woodland has replacement and new windows, patio entry and scenic doors, and a reputation for bringing customers back for more. Every job is unique, every job is done right. That's why for 50 years, homeowners have trusted Woodland Windows and Doors with their projects. Woodland Windows and Doors, online at woodlandwindows.com, or stop by their showroom on the corner of Lake and Gary in Roselle.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
7:36. Let's check the roads. AM 560 traffic center time. Here's Jim.
The southbound tri-state has mild delays between 120 and 137. Northbound, there's a big jam from 115th and Ridgeland to 75th after a crash. And it's still going 47th to the Grand Avenue curve. But Adams Tollway traffic is tight. Beverly to Higgins and Hoffman Estates. Eastbound Reagan Tollway from 83 to Roosevelt. And the northbound Veterans Memorial from Mountain to St. Charles. Edens runs 33 minutes, Lake Hook to Montrose. Kennedy, hour and 2 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 28 minutes from Montrose, 25 on the Express. Eisenhower, 57 minutes, 390 to downtown. 39 from Manheim. Stevenson, an hour and 2 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 34 minutes, 95th to downtown. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next, and your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, a couple of rain showers this morning, otherwise cloudy, breezy, and a high near 64. Currently 46 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
Let freedom ring this afternoon at 2 with Sean Hannity, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. It's 100 Club Day on Chicago's Morning Answer. Talking about our golf outing, June 24th at Mistwood in Romeoville, which is a great public track. Really good course.
I cannot wait to play it now. Is it a links course or just regular?
It's actually it's a little bit of both because there's some heather, some high rough, but there's also, there's got to be at least half a dozen holes that have water. It's a challenge.
So I'll bring the water balls. But we have this annual golf outing every year. This year, for a third straight year, we're benefiting the 100 Club of Chicago, the 100 Club of DuPage and Will counties. And it's a foursome, $1,196. For that, you'll get a full day of golf. There's a 7:30 morning shotgun start and a 2 p.m. afternoon shotgun start, a lunch from noon to 2, and, of course, a silent auction. And if you are a business owner, manager, or person who makes marketing decisions for your company, we have a great deal. It's called the Business Benefactor Program. You purchase a foursome for $1,196, and you'll golf. And we'll also kick in 25 60-second commercials to promote your business right here on AM 560. We're not going to stick you on the weekends. It's going to be Monday through Friday right here on AM 560. It's a value at more than $3,000 in advertising. We're going to give to you for $1,196. Also, purchase a Team Amy, Team Dan, or Team Joe foursome for $2,000, which means you can play golf with us, and then we'll also record your commercials. Sign up right now, 312-363-6680. Again, 312-363-6680.
And remember, again, 2 shotguns, 7:30 morning shotgun, 7:30 a.m. morning shotgun, and 2 p.m. afternoon shotgun to comport with your schedule. For more on this topic and the work that the 100 Club does, which is the beneficiary of a portion of the proceeds we raised that day. We're pleased to be joined by DuPage County Board President Lisa Savigno and Fire Liaison Bob Tanucci. Lisa and Bob, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Amy. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, of course.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, Lisa, why don't we start with you? DuPage County Board, so DuPage County government's involvement with the 100 Club. Give us an explanation of the nexus there.
So I'm on the board of directors of the 100 Club of DuPage County. So we are a all-civilian organization, so it is of private citizens. The club developed in 1982, so we've been around for a while here in DuPage County. We give financial assistance to families of fallen firefighters and police officers killed in the line of duty. Also out here in DuPage County, we also give another benefit, what's called a compassion benefit. So if there is any need for any of the families that of any working firefighters or police officers, if they're going through any kind of a hardships, we also give them help that way as well.
Oh, wow. So since the club, since you've been a unit since 1982, how many families have you helped? How many fallen firefighters and police officers, first responders have there been?
Sure thing. In the DuPage County, we have not as many killed in the line of duty police officers, firefighters, which we're very blessed for that. Since 1982, there's been 15 families. But we have several different compassion benefits that we've helped. I'm just adding things up. We probably have about $1 million out there helping everyone.
Bob, if you could weigh in as well. I mean, the importance of the work the 100 Club does with respect to firefighters specifically.
Well, with regards to assistance to our firefighters or police officers, they're there in the time of need. As Lisa had mentioned, I serve as a connection to the 100 Club board, and we'll hear from firefighters, being on the firefighter side, families or firefighters that have some difficulties. We've helped when they've had family problems, family medical issues, extended maybe off-duty injuries and things of that nature. They really create a financial hardship, and we're there to assist with these compassion awards. Like Lisa said, we've been fortunate. We don't experience the line of duty deaths in DuPage as often as maybe the city of Chicago does, but certainly any of them are of highest importance, and we're there to assist immediately following with some type of death benefit and so forth. So it's been it's just an opportunity, and it's an outlet for our firefighters and police officers to go to for some financial assistance.
And talk about your financial needs. I mean, you want to make sure that you have enough money ready to go in case something horrific happens.
Well, certainly. We rely on private citizens and corporations and others who become not only members but donate through other causes. Oftentimes, in memorials, we've had police officers, firefighters who have passed or so forth, and families will leave memorial tributes to the 100 Club in a memorial fashion to assist in financing. But most of our membership, most of our finances or donations come through corporations and individuals themselves, and events like this that you're holding.
And again, the event is Monday, June 24th. It's the 100 Club Golf Outing. It's presented by Clear Financial Strategies. It's at Mistwood Golf Club in Romeoville to benefit the 100 Club of Chicago, of DuPage County, and of Will County. And with respect to the chapters, how do the chapters sort of interact with one another in the region, either Bob or Lisa?
Yeah, that's really interesting. We don't actually have a national organization that kind of governs all the different chapters. The chapters were actually developed by private citizens, and so we do. I talk a lot to Joe over at the Chicago chapter, and he's been a great help, and he supported us in a lot of different benefits before, and we just reach out to each other. As I said, there's no really governing body. Each of these are developed in different counties, pretty much on their own.
So you're just
maybe
like
someday.
Yeah, just like strategic allies, and right.
So Lisa, why did
maybe
you?
Someday we'll have a big national chapter. We'll see.
You never know. Why did you decide to get involved?
That's a very interesting story, but somebody had approached me. I'm a business owner out here in DuPage County in Carroll Stream, and they needed some more women on the board, kind of some new faces, and I definitely jumped in. I'm a big fan of our police officers and our firefighters. This is a job that we cannot do ourselves, and I just wanted to give back and to let them know that they are very loved and are very important to us, and I just appreciate everything that they do for us.
She is.
That's why
I'm sorry. Thank you. She is Lisa Savigno. She's the president of the DuPage County chapter of the 100 Club. Joining her, fire liaison for the 100 Club of DuPage County, Bob Tanucci. Lisa and Bob, thanks so much for joining us and for your work in support of the families of first responders. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, we certainly appreciate what you're doing to help support us here through this golf outing. I hope for a great success with that thing. And like you said earlier, bring some extra balls. There's Mistwood is a little bit of water and some. You better have a long drive because it's a long course. Believe me, we have our annual burn outing there. In June, and it's a tough course.
It is a tough course. It's a fun course, though. A lot of great holes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it.
Oh, okay.
I hope we have a lot of advantages with the women's tees, with the tee boxes. I mean, what kind of yardage are we talking?
You don't need the women's tee.
Oh, I don't. If you want to become a part of a foursome, if you want to help out the 100 Club of Chicago, the 100 Club of DuPage and Will counties, please call this number 312-363-6680. Again, for $1,196, your foursome can play. And if your business owner manager will say thank you and give you 25 60-second commercials to promote your business right here on AM 560. It's the best deal in Chicago radio. And we want to thank companies that already signed up to be business benefactors. Mag Mutual, Clear Financial Strategies, Precision Payroll, Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling, and Remke's Garage. Again, that number, 312-363-6680.
Tom Sadeka at Precision Payroll. That's the foursome I got to keep my eye on.
Oh,
that'll be the foursome to beat.
He's on your tail every year. Because last year, what were you guys, 18 under or 26
Well,
under?
he won the morning. I think he won the morning because he does almost every year. He plays the morning, and then we won the afternoon. So, but I'm watching Sadeka.
Okay, we're on you. 312-363-6680.
Become an AM 560 business benefactor when you purchase a foursome to our annual golf outing, benefiting the families of fallen first responders. Call 312-363-6680 to reserve your spot today.
This is Dr. Howard, founder and formulator of Balance of Nature. We're changing America one life at a time.
Every time you turn around, there's a new ad on the TV set. Bad drug. Call this lawyer. Are you on this, that, or the other? And it's all the stuff they're promoting the year before. I've got stomach issues, regular arthritis people have my age, and I wanted to get better, you know. Anything I can do that's healthy, that's natural, it makes sense. Tell Dr. Howard I really, really appreciate he made this stuff because I'll tell you, it really makes a big difference. Everything seems to be better.
From now until May 10th, receive a 15% discount and free shipping on your first preferred order of Balance of Nature. And just in time for Mother's Day, receive an extra $10 off any additional set of fruits and veggies you purchase. This offer will end on May 10th, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Your Sprinter or light-duty diesel is the lifeblood of your business. You can't afford to have just anyone care for this major piece of equipment. You wouldn't go to an eye doctor to fix your knee, so don't go to any shop to fix your Sprinter, Duramax, Cummins, or Power Stroke vehicle. Go to the experts at Remke's Garage. Remke's Garage doesn't just fix a problem, they find a solution. Remke's goal is to make sure you never lose a dollar of business. That's why owner Joe Remke sits with you and creates a maintenance plan specific to your unique vehicle. Go Go to remkesgarage.com to learn more about their specialization in sprinter and light-duty diesel vehicles. Their commitment to your business is backed with a complimentary maintenance plan and free 2-year warranty on all parts. They'll even pick up, deliver, and offer you a loaner vehicle free of charge. Go to remkesgarage.com to schedule your free maintenance plan consultation.
With summer fast approaching, now's the time to fill your son's schedule with athletics, STEM, and academic enrichment camps at Northridge Prep's summer programs for boys in grades 4 through 8. For the week of June 17th through the 21st, drop your son off at 9, pick him up at 3 for a full day of fun. In the morning, a choice between basketball skill builder and wrestling technique and strength. In the afternoon, battles of the Civil War or robotics, introduction to mechanical design. That's a full week of sports and experiential learning to keep your son developing his interests and skills this summer. Here's what Chicago Bulls GM Gar Forman had to say about basketball skill builder camp. When it comes to teaching offensive skill development in youth basketball, Coach Ray provides as complete and detailed an approach as I've seen. That's Coach Will Ray, who's also the athletic director at Northridge Prep, and he was a D1 basketball coach, including at Loyola. Seats are limited for all camps, and some, like the Dangerous Camp for Boys, are already 100% filled up. Learn more and register online at northridgeprep.org/summer. That's northridgeprep.org/summer.
At Dell, we know running a small business takes hard work. As a thank you, for all of Small Business Month, we're offering up to 45% off select computers with Intel Core processors. Plus, get additional savings when you call a Dell Small Business Technology Advisor. Call 877-BUY-DELL today. That's 877-BUY-DELL. Additional savings valid May 6th through 30th at 8 a.m. Eastern on select computers from customer calls Dell. Excludes Dell Canvas, PowerEdge T30, and select order codes.
Liberty Mutual Insurance presents and Doug.
Limu, there's a woman threatening to sign up for generic car insurance. Grab your birdseed and let's go.
I'm going to sign these papers right here, right now.
Ma'am, drop the pen. Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Thanks, Limu, Emu, and Doug.
Don't thank us, thank Liberty Mutual. But also thank us.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer. State laws apply.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Bob Ament, a founding partner of the law firm of Dassman & Ament and longtime personal customer of Signature Bank. Our firm recently left one of the larger banks to bank with Signature Bank, and it's been a refreshing change. With Signature Bank, we've been able to tailor banking solutions that fit the specific needs of our firm. Beyond that, Signature Bank is responsive, efficient, and timely in meeting those needs. If I have a request, I pick up the phone and talk to Mick O'Rourke, not someone at a phone bank thousands of miles away. Dassman & Ament needed more than what the larger banks offer, and we found that with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy and Charlize Theron. Amy.
Oh, isn't she raising a baby that is going to decide its own gender or something?
Charlize Theron, child abuser. Not the way that the press corps, DC press corps, reports it, but she can't talk about her 2 kids without holding back tears. In a recent interview with the Daily Mail, she illustrates why she's truly a great parent.
Okay, if you're a great parent, you don't tell people you're a great parent.
In 2012,
that's first rule of parenting.
This entertainment report on Charlize Theron, right? The hagiographic reporting the entertainment press corps does for entertainers. In 2012, Theron adopted her second child, Jackson. Over the last year, speculation started building that Jackson might be transgender, and now Theron is confirming that that's the case. I have 2 beautiful daughters. I thought she was a boy until she looked at me when she was 3 years old and said, "I'm not a boy." Now, just like any parent, I want to protect them and I want to see them thrive. They were born who they are. 3 years old, her boy said to her, her boy Jackson said to her, "I'm not a boy. And now Theron is raising her 6-year-old boy as a girl.
Do you know how many times I said, I'm not a girl, I want to be a boy when I was growing up? About 100 times.
Get the surgeons in here.
Yeah, no.
We got a 3-year-old who's not a boy. He just said so.
We're promoting this behavior. Do you understand that? I mean,
it's insane. Insane. And by the way, a related story. If you want to see the most anodyne and gratuitously vulgar movie that masquerades as a comedy, go see the movie featuring Charlize Theron as Secretary of State, who's going to become president.
Oh, and she's in...
It was Seth Rogen, called Long Shot. It is... the disconnect between how bad that movie is and the high scores it gets at Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, it just tells you everything you need to know about the cultural Marxists. It is so poorly written. It's every leftist trope, every cliche, every predictable line about politics. There's a scene which becomes the big, shocking reveal, the climactic event, if you will, in which Seth Rogen, who hasn't matured either in real life or with the characters he plays on screen since Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah, he's typecast.
You remember There's Something About Mary?
Oh, yeah.
Ben Stiller in the ear?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
This is Seth Rogen in the beard.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And the masturbatory Seth Rogen, who's sort of like this guerrilla, Guerrilla, NPR type reporter of the left, and Charlize Theron, fall in love, the classic odd couple, blah, blah, blah. That becomes what I just described, becomes like the denouement to the happy ending, pun intended. It is so ridiculous, the crap coming out of Hollywood. I mean, I'm a movieophile, so I see a lot of movies, and there's some great movies too, and documentaries and all that stuff. There's some super creative people. The most disturbing thing to me, watching it in the theater, this is one reason I rarely go to the theater anymore, how the percentage of people in the audience who were laughing along at every tired, cartoonish, leftist platitude or cliche or obvious punchline, in quotes, and the, grotesqueness for grotesqueness' sake. No insight, no art, no creativity. This thing could have been slapped together in a couple of hours. Pun intended again. It's really remarkable. And so I thought about, after seeing that movie, I thought about Theron because I remember this circulating, and so I wanted to check on it, and this is who she is. And these are the people that we fawn over and celebrate.
We give money to?
Talk about, they are the definition of sentimental barbarians. They are the definition of men and women without chests. All they are is appetites, not intellects, not creative. Charlize Theron may be very pretty, and that's about it.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
At 8:08, we'll switch gears, and we'll talk to Juan Williams, Fox News contributor and columnist for TheHill.com, about the Torquemadas in the Democrat caucus in the House that are intent on getting Trump's tax returns, lest they dispatch their Democrats at the state level in places like Illinois to prevent Trump from being on the ballot in those states in 2020.
And don't forget, today is 100 Club Day. All day long, we're signing people up for our golf outing, which is Monday, June 24th. It's presented by Clear Financial Strategies. Foursomes are $1,196. You can become a business benefactor, and you'll get 25 one-minute commercials as a way of saying thanks. To sign up for our golf tournament, which always sells out, which is always a lot of fun, call 312-363-6680. Again, 312-363-6680. 6680. Now let's head straight into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
We've had light rain and gray skies today. An update on your forecast in a moment. And a big upset in Indiana elections. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
Why did they do it? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. We still don't know. The day after two students are accused of shooting up their charter school in Colorado, killing one classmate, wounding 8. Fox's Evan Brown has the latest live.
Dave, law enforcement in Douglas County, Colorado won't say much other than the two suspects got far into the school before they started shooting. And Sheriff Tony Spurlock says the younger suspect is a female.
We originally thought the juvenile was a male by appearance.
And already questions are being raised about how the suspects got their handguns.
Neither one of them were of legal age to own or purchase a gun anyway, so it's a moot point in regards to red flag.
Now, the 18-year-old male suspect is due in court later today, Dave.
Evan, President Trump was fired up on Twitter this morning, calling a New York Times report on his taxes decades old, highly inaccurate, fake news hit job. It showed he lost more than $1 billion in real estate in the 80s and 90s. Those losses helped him avoid paying any taxes in many of those years. The president wrote almost all developers back then took advantage of massive write-offs. In Congress today,
House Judiciary Committee Chairman Gerald Nadler says he's still planning a vote to hold Attorney General William Barr in contempt of Congress, refusing to answer questions about negotiations with the Justice Department over a Russia report subpoena.
Fox's Jared Halpern, if that happens, the Justice Department threatens to have the president invoke an executive privilege on the unredacted parts of the Mueller report. Barr has refused to give Democrats. Iran wants to renegotiate the nuclear deal. 1 year to the day after President Trump pulled the U.S. out of it. Iran is telling the country still signed on it wants better terms or it'll resume high-level uranium enrichment, which could be used to make nuclear weapons. We got our first look at the royal baby a short time ago.
It's just been the dream, so it's been a special couple days.
Duchess Meghan standing next to Prince Harry in England as the 2-day-old boy wrapped in a white blanket was in his arms, still not told the boy's name. This is Fox News.
Skies are gray. We've had light rain showers across the area. 47 degrees at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer, and good morning. I'm Mike Scott. A newborn baby here in Chicago remains in stable condition after that baby was found abandoned on top of a trash can on Chicago's northwest side. Chicago Fire says a woman and her daughter discovered the child yesterday inside of a shopping bag in an alley near Keystone and Wabansia. The boy was transferred to a nearby firehouse where paramedics performed heroic actions to save the life of that child, CPR and other warming blankets, before that baby was transported to the hospital. Major upset in Indiana elections yesterday. Lake County Assessor Jerome Prince is poised to win the Democratic mayoral primary and appears to knock out incumbent Gary, Indiana Mayor Karen Freeman Wilson off the ballot. Chicago Mayor-elect Lori Lightfoot trying to build some relationships with the powers that be in Washington, D.C., meeting with the Trump administration yesterday and then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Illinois State University administrators are recommending a tuition freeze for the coming academic year and no change in residence hall or dining rates. The Cubs say they're investigating a fan using what appeared to be an offensive hand gesture associated with racism behind a black television reporter who was on the air. Team president of business operations saying in a statement early this morning, the incident, which occurred during the Miami-Chicago game Tuesday night, will result in any individual behaving in that manner not only being removed from the ballpark, but permanently banned from Wrigley Field. Chris Bryant and the Cubs were winners over the Marlins 5-2. White Sox blanked the Indians 2-0. 8:03. It's time for the AM 560 Business Beat. And from the Fox Business Network, here's Ginny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, uncertainty about the upcoming U.S.-China trade talks is continuing to weigh on the market. Though the U.S. is planning to raise tariffs on more imports from China effective Friday, China says its top trade negotiators will be in Washington, D.C. tomorrow to resume negotiations. China released a report today saying its exports dropped in April. The decline was not expected and it's a complication for China in the trade talks. Wendy's is reporting a strong start to the year. Its sales increased and its earnings were stronger than expected. Wendy's is upbeat about this year. Fast food chain Del Taco says its Beyond Meat tacos are bringing back former customers. Though its sales were slightly lower at the start of the year, it's partly blaming the slip on severe weather in California. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
It's 8:04 on AM 560. Time for a dry basement in a healthy home. Time to call Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. And a check of traffic and weather coming up next on AM 560.
Today is 100 Club Day on AM 560 The Answer. Purchase a foursome at our upcoming golf outing on Monday, June 24th at the Mistwood Golf Course in Romeoville, presented by Clear Financial. A portion of the proceeds will go to benefit the 100 clubs of Chicago, DuPage County, and Will County as they assist the families of fallen first responders. To purchase a foursome today only, call 312-363-6680. That's 312-363-6680.
Hey guys, Ken here from Income Store. I needed to take a minute just to brag on our almost 200 amazing employees. In 2009, we changed our tagline to, "We can grow any business in any industry at any time." The world trusted us and helped us become a 5-time Inc. 5000 honoree. Our 200 employees have done two major things at the same time. We manage 1,800 money-making websites and over 260 e-commerce sites for our client partners across the globe. 34% of Americans visited one of these assets last year. But at the same time, these amazing employees have stopped their life every single week and recorded videos and podcasts of exactly how we grow these digital assets. If you're looking to figure out how we do it, just go to door number 1. It's free. You can study thousands of hours of material on how to grow your business. If you have money but no time, go to door number 2. It's a bit pricey, but our managed services are absolutely incredible. You got to check out IncomeStore.com. Our 200 employees are absolutely amazing.
All money managers might seem the same, but while some give their clients cookie-cutter portfolios, Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to your goals and needs. Some only call when they have something to sell. Fisher calls regularly, so you stay informed. And while some advisors are happy to earn commissions whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come from other money managers. So if you're in or nearing retirement, talk with us and find out why investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments. Clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
It is 8:07. Let's get an update on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
In Elk Grove Village, Elmhurst Road is closed between Oakton and Landmeyer due to an overturned tank truck, and there's a fuel leak. Kennedy inbound delays start at Harlem. It is an hour and 11 minutes, so here to downtown. 38 minutes from Montrose, 35 on the express, outbound 54 minutes to the airport. Eden's 24 minutes, Lake Cook to the junction, outbound 33. Eisenhower, an hour and 5 minutes, 390 to downtown. It's 47 minutes from Mannheim, outbound 54 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 5 minutes, 355 to the drive, outbound 45 minutes. Ryan, 34 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 25 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop 430. The tollways are heavy. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next, and your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
A shower or two this morning, otherwise clouds and breezy today, high 64. A shower and a heavy thunderstorm tonight, low 60. Showers and thunderstorms tomorrow morning, then a cloudy and breezy day, high 69. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
47 at O'Hare, 45 along the lakefront. Your next news update at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour radio show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy, and the newly elected congressman from the Houston area, Democrat Al Green. You know him from such interrogations as asking a bunch of banking CEOs if they're all white. Here's Al Green on impeachment. We got to impeach this president to stop him from being reelected.
I'm concerned that if we don't impeach this president, he will get reelected. If we don't impeach him, he will say he has been vindicated. He will say the Democrats had an overwhelming majority in the House and they didn't take up impeachment. He will say that we had a constitutional duty to do it if it was there and we didn't. He will say that he has been vindicated.
And he'll be right. Wall Street Journal opining on the pseudo-impeachment. Democrats are agonizing over impeachment because while they're itching to do it, Special Counsel Mueller's report blew up their Russian collusion hopes, in addition to taking no position on obstruction. What to do? Democrats have decided to act out a pseudo-impeachment that claims Mr. Trump and his administration are committing offenses against the Constitution without daring to open a formal impeachment inquiry. It's just impeachment theater instead. But there's something else afoot that may turn out to be more than theater. And this was per testimony, not just from Bill Barr last week, but also from FBI Director Christopher Wray on the 2016 investigations and how they all came to be started by one Jim Comey.
I don't know that I can say sitting here today what the predicate is. As you mentioned, the independent inspector general did a fairly intense and rigorous and thorough investigation of that investigation. And provided a pretty long report and testified in front of multiple committees of Congress about it. There were a lot of important lessons learned from that, and I think we, the FBI, and I at the helm, took those lessons very much to heart immediately. Some of them we already had in place.
Mr. Director, but I'm going to run out of time, and I don't want to do that. Can you tell me what the factual predicate was for the investigation of President Trump?
Well, the special counsel's report goes through a fair amount of detail about the predication for its investigation. I think beyond that, as I mentioned to the chairman, I've had a number of conversations and I'm working to help the Attorney General get to the bottom of an understanding of what the circumstances surrounding the initiation of that investigation were at the department and the FBI back in 2016.
Kevin Brock, writing in thehill.com. Kevin Brock is former assistant director of intelligence for the FBI. He was a special agent for 24 years and principal deputy director for the National Counterterrorism Center. Writing on Barr/Wray's examination. 3 areas. The first will be whether the investigations to both presidential nominees and the Trump campaign were adequately, in Barr's words, predicated, meaning was there justification. Second, whether Comey's team obeyed longstanding established investigative guidelines while conducting the investigations, if there was sufficient truthful justification for spying, for example. And third, an examination of whether Comey was unduly influenced by political agendas emanating from the previous White House, its DNI, its CIA director, and or its attorney general. As Mr. Brock goes on to say in his piece, this is a good line, Jim Comey sees himself as kind of a pontiff on the Potomac working his beads, but he comes across lately more like an unraveling Captain Queeg working his ball bearings. For more on this topic and others, we're pleased to be joined by our friend Juan Williams, Fox News contributor, also a columnist for The Hill. Juan, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning. Good morning to both of you.
So, good morning. So, what do you think? Do we have a Comey mutiny on our hands, Juan?
No, I'm fascinated that you are lost in this conspiracy theory. I mean, wow, you are going down the hole this morning.
What's the conspiracy
theory?
What
is all this about? I mean, in fact, what you heard from Christopher Wray, the FBI director, yesterday was when he was directly asked, if he has any evidence of any wrongdoing, any spying. He said no. He said he doesn't know anything like that.
Well, that's why they're going to look at it. That's the whole point.
Well, you can look at it,
Yeah,
but
why not?
I don't think that the premise would be that there was something illegal or some kind of conspiracy or political malpractice being done at the FBI or I guess even the CIA. And it's just, to me, if they didn't look into Russian interference in our election,
well, they did,
which has been confirmed by everybody from the intelligence agencies to Mueller, if they didn't say, hey, wait a second, are the Russians trying to penetrate one of the campaigns for president? I think we'd say, hey, FBI, CIA, you're not doing your job.
Well, wait a second. They did look into that. The Obama administration, if anybody, was soft-pedaling the look into Russian interference. But they did look into that. And so what's the big deal? Why so up in arms about Wray and Barr going back and looking at the predicate for all of this?
No, nobody's up in arms. It's just not a big story. But, I mean, again, I think Barr is the one who raised this profile when he said he thought he would look into spying. The use of such a word was very political, as you know, because the president is one that's constantly trying to denigrate our intelligence agencies, put down the FBI, put down Mueller, everybody. And then he says, oh, yeah, you know what? The real point that you guys should be investigating, and Barr wouldn't answer this, go after Hillary. What was going on with Hillary? What was going on with her server? He spreads all of this, what I call gaslighting, all of this confusion and nonsense, and then it gets picked up and people think, oh, there must be something real there.
Well, Juan, you have
nothing.
to look at Peter Strzok and Lisa Page. I mean, their text messages back and forth. Clearly, they were politically motivated. Clearly, they did not like
clearly they
President
didn't
Trump.
like Trump. It doesn't mean they're politically motivated.
But that affects your job. If you feel that way, you're going to be biased in your job. I mean, I don't think they went into their job with open minds.
I mean, Juan, you're aghast at people spreading information that they can't corroborate, but not when it's Adam Schiff or any of the Democrats on the Hill who have been spinning conspiracy yarns for the last 2.5 years that were rejected by Mueller.
Wait a minute. I don't know. I looked at the report and said there were more than 100 instances of contacts between Russians and the Trump campaign. And that what Mr. Mueller found was that there
collusion.
was no evidence of any real, what would you call it, conspiracy?
No collusion.
I think the president calls it collusion.
No, whatever.
But the idea that the Russians not only were in contact with the Trump campaign, but wanted to spread disinformation that would damage Hillary Clinton and help Donald Trump, there's just no argument about this.
But that's not what we're arguing. We're arguing that Adam Schiff and Nadler and Maxine Waters, and I could go on, Swalwell and the rest of them, we have evidence of Russian collusion. Said for 2 years. We have evidence. You want me to play you the clips? We have evidence. He did it. We're going to present the evidence at the appropriate time. No evidence. Mueller did a 2-year investigation. No collusion. And you still can't bring yourself to admit what is in black and white in the Mueller report. It's remarkable to me.
Well, you just said no evidence, and I think that's where you go over the line, because you and I, as journalists, we know, that, of course, about the Trump Tower meeting with the Russian lawyer who had promised information on Hillary Clinton. We know that, in fact, what you get is people breaking down the Hillary Clinton campaign, hacking them and then feeding it to WikiLeaks and Assange and all that.
What do you think Hillary Clinton's campaign was doing to Trump's campaign? I mean, they're not
no,
sitting
that's
by.
not
There's
the conversation.
research
Dan just said to me, well, there's nothing. There's no evidence.
There
and I'm
isn't.
just telling you, just off the top of my head, of the evidence.
I'm sorry.
The key point is that Mueller found no conspiracy or collusion.
Yes, and the entire raison d'etre of the congressional Democrats for the last 2 years was he is a Russian agent. He is committed. I'm sorry, because that's specifically what was said. They have accused him of committing treason, and the whole point of the Mueller investigation is has there been a crime committed? And all the Democrats suggested there had been, and there was evidence for it. And Bob Mueller said, no, there isn't. And they can't admit it.
Especially with regard to conspiracies. Doesn't mean there's no evidence of conspiracy.
Oh, my
there's
gosh.
lots of that.
Talk about
he just
parsing
decided
words.
It was not sufficient. And on obstruction, boy, it's a whole different story. He just said he didn't want to come to a conclusion, but he said he cannot clear the president.
Okay, well, no, I know. Again, I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, keep pressing this argument. I hope, like Al Green does too, and I hope they move to impeach him. I mean, I think it's fantastic.
It's interesting. I think the impeachment move among some on the Democratic side actually fires up the Trump base. I think that you guys think this is great. You know, they're trying to vilify our hero, but
not my hero. He's
to
just
me,
the president.
I think Nancy Pelosi's playing it right. Let's just see where it goes. And of course, you can do things like request the president tax returns.
Sure.
As we saw in the New York Times this morning, somebody's up to playing games and tricks here.
Well, I'm sorry. How's that?
The guy lost billions of dollars over 10 years. He's supposed to be such a rich man. He's going to help our economy. He's going to help us. We're going to win so much. We're going to get tired of losing. He's so wealthy. He knows how to make money. I don't think so.
So our economy is thriving right now. And
yeah,
he
that
has
is
helped. And
happening.
you know, that happened. It was from 1985 to 1984.
1994.
1994, excuse me. That was decades ago. And we knew because he filed for bankruptcy. I was not surprised by that New York Times report at all.
Yeah, I remember reading that New York Times story out yesterday in Art of the Deal 30 years ago. I mean, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? So Trump doesn't have money?
Oh, no, I didn't say that, but I said essentially what he does is he says these things that are just not true. When they turn out to be found to be not true, people who support him then say, well, so what?
Well, wait a second. He had a bad decade. He memorialized it in a book called Art of the Deal, but there's no question that he's a billionaire. So that means I guess he's been more successful than not. Not a lot of people are billionaires. So I'm sorry, what is the criticism exactly? What is the indictment here?
The indictment is that he lied about it. I mean, this is so constant. I mean, and don't forget, this is a guy that was given millions by his father. I mean, it's been said that if he had just invested the money, if he had never done any business, he'd be richer today than he is now because he did go into business.
Well, speaking of tax returns, what do you think about these moves at the state level, including here in Illinois, to try to prevent Trump from being on the ballot in 2020 if he doesn't release, in the case of Illinois, 5 years of tax returns? What do you think about that?
I think it's political. I mean, obviously, I don't think there's an exception if you go all the way back to Eisenhower. Presidents released their tax returns, but at this point, it's all politics and it's all an attempt, again, I think, to embarrass Trump for his inexplicable until now. Maybe he just doesn't want people to know what a failure he was at business. So, but it doesn't make sense. What's he hiding?
Business people fail at some point in time. But all right, so the 2020, what Democratic candidate do you think could unseat President Trump?
Well, if you just look at the polls, and that's all I have to go on right now, obviously Joe Biden can do it. But similarly, I was surprised that this Sanders, Buttigieg, they all can beat Trump. I think like Harris, others are like tied with Trump. But I mean, it's pretty clear on the Democratic side right now, there's a tremendous surge of interest in Joe Biden, financial surge of interest. The polls have him way up. So it's quite kind of interesting because he's going to have to go through some tough waters on the Democratic side to win the nomination. But for right now, the Democratic base, I think, is surprising a lot of people. It's not far left. It's not socialist. It's interested in an older white male named Joe Biden.
Well, yeah, for now. I mean, it's partly an AIM-ID thing. An older white male named Bernie Sanders, too, as you point out. But that's what my question for you is, how does Joe Biden get out of that primary? Because people are focusing on the national poll, and as you know, it's not a national election. It's a state-by-state election. And if you look at the polls in Iowa and New Hampshire, he's in a dead heat, Biden is, with Bernie Sanders and others not too far behind. So, and that's what really matters, momentum in Iowa, New Hampshire, and then forward. So do you think Joe Biden has the staying power to go the distance?
Well, I think he's been through it and lost twice. So my sense is he knows what he's getting into. And, you know, Donald Trump is a political phenomenon of our times. So you would have to, getting into this, be understanding that you are going to go up against a candidate who's not only a tremendous personality, but has the advantage of incumbency. You got to give him the advantage going into this race. And I would imagine Joe Biden's not stupid enough to think, oh, this is going to be some cakewalk. But as you point out, I think he's first got to get through the Democratic primary, and that's going to be tough, too, because I can hear a lot of people who are going to be pulling on him from the left. and saying, what happened with Anita Hill? What happened with tax reform? What happened with criminal justice reform? All these questions are out there, and they're all going to be stumbling blocks in the way of Joe Biden.
He is Juan Williams, Fox News contributor, columnist for thehill.com. Juan, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Purchase a foursome at the AM 560 golf outing to support the families of fallen first responders. Call 312-363-6680. That's 312-363-6680.
Another school year is about to wrap up, and you need to start thinking about what activities your son or daughter will be involved with during summer break. You want them to have fun this summer, but at the same time have some structure to be prepared for the next school year. Introduce them to St. John's Northwestern Experience in the beautiful Lake Country region of southeast Wisconsin with summer OPS, opportunities for personal success. 5 intensive weeks of learning and training. Young men and women grades 7 to 12 get an opportunity to advance academically in the structured and supportive environment of a military boarding school, and at the same time be involved in an exciting summer adventure camp that inspires personal growth through a commitment to excellence in academics, leadership skills, spiritual and character development, and athletics and wellness. Camp St. John's Northwestern for your son or daughter with full boarding or day camp programs. Get more info at 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET or online at sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
Here's another Balance of Nature success story from Joni. She said, I started taking Balance of Nature in early June after hearing your ads on the radio. I was desperate. I had high blood pressure, cholesterol, stiffness in my body, pain in my legs, knees, and lower back when I walked. My legs felt heavy and swollen as well as my arms and hands. I felt so stiff I couldn't even bend down and tie my shoes. Scary stuff. Well, after taking Balance of Nature for about 2 weeks, she said her blood pressure went down by 6 points. She also noticed that the stiffness had gone from her legs and her lower back. Balance of Nature, why we need it? Well, it's 10 servings of 31 fruits and veggies, all in a single capsule. No dyes or preservatives, because admit it, none of us eat enough fruits and vegetables on our own. So that's why Balance of Nature is so great. It's easy, it's healthy. And right now with Mother's Day right around the corner, they have a gift for you. From now until May 10th, receive a 15% discount and free shipping on your first preferred order of Balance of Nature, and also receive an extra $10 off any additional set of fruits and veggies you purchase. But this offer ends May 10th. Do not wait. Call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Use discount code Chicago or simply go to balanceofnature.com. Discount code Chicago.
Famous conservative quotes presented by Automated Systems.
Thomas Jefferson said, "When the government fears the people, you have liberty. When the people fear the government, you have tyranny."
For FDA-regulated staffing needs, Automated Systems provides top talent, including experienced quality control and assurance engineers, plus validation and compliance experts. Hiring the best is critical to success. ASI resources are all degree professionals with decades of experience in manufacturing, automation, and FDA compliance. That's why ASI is retained by all of Chicagoland's Fortune 500 life science companies to successful startups. For a staffing evaluation, call Laz at 844-HIRE-ASI or visit hireasi.com. That's 844-HIRE-ASI or online at hireasi.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
I am.
Dan and Amy and Uber and Lyft. Uber and Lyft blackout today. Did you see that?
Well, do you think any of them are going to abide by that? I need that. That's my way home for some of the kiddies there.
Right. That's how you carpool. You put the kids in Uber and or Lyft, right?
I have to. I can't be at two places at the same time. So I've been using that, yes. I wanted to start the Mom Uber app like 6 years ago. I missed my calling, Dan. That would have been huge.
They're doing a blackout because they want better wages and benefits.
Mm-hmm.
They are watching Lyft IPO, and Uber's supposed to start trading Friday, right?
Oh, yeah.
So they want a little piece of that RE manual action. Interesting. They looked at this. There's been some study in the average wage. $18.40 is what the average wage is for an Uber driver. So That's like
I'm
about $3,000 a month.
So glad you took the
If
heavy
you,
lifting
if you
on
did,
that one.
if a 40-hour week, so if it was a full-time
Right.
job, it's about that's about $3,000 a month, which isn't bad for a side hustle if you're doing something else. I mean, 40 hours a week.
40
though,
hours,
so.
you can't really.
But 18. I mean, that's so. Should we make? I mean,
yeah, but how much?
$18
each
an
fare
hour,
goes
$18.40 an
to-
hour.
to the big head honchos.
Well, that's the whole thing is the distribution, the way to change your compensation. They don't want to work more hours. They want the split to be more advantageous
Right.
to them.
And the split is better if you work for Lyft than if you work for Uber. Because if you ask any Lyft driver, they'll say, because a lot of Lyft drivers are also Uber drivers. It's really weird, but they'll make more money if they're driving for Lyft than they will if they're driving for Uber.
I don't want to be too critical because I don't want my Uber rating to suffer if there are Uber drivers listening. What's your rating?
Oh, no, wait. What's your rating?
You've been cooking the books with your rating.
Here's the thing, though. My kids, I've been putting my kids in Uber, and I think they're affecting my Uber rating because I know that.
Oh, blame it on the kids
No,
again.
because Eli did something. He wrote something because the window was foggy inside one of his Uber cars, and he made a, you know what I'm talking about, a symbol. The
PP. You can say that on the air. We spent most of Monday's show talking about the penis bandit at Virginia Tech. I mean, you
so
can
he
say
was
it.
a penis bandit inside an Uber car, and that dinged my rating.
No, you're doing a real nice job raising that little barbarian.
Oh,
aren't you?
well, he thought it was funny. I said, no. Oh,
What
I'm
is
up
it?
to I'm up to 4.75. Isn't that good? Is that good?
That's weird.
What are you up to?
I mean, I'm over 4.8, but
Oh,
I should be a
on your
5.0.
heels. Oh,
Ridiculous.
Cool. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Start using Lyft. We're going to talk to Joe Ahern, the 100 Club. He is the CEO of the organization that will be a beneficiary of our golf outing again this year. We'll have all the details at 8:38.
But first, let's head into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Never,
I'm all smiles.
Ever used an Uber or Lyft.
You haven't?
Not a single time. Ever. I have my own vehicle that I drive.
Oh.
47 degrees and
Pick up
cloudy
my
skies.
kids after school then.
I will.
Okay, good. I'll
Pay
pay
me
you cash.
That's the lingo of a suburbanite, though.
Yeah.
We're city dwellers.
That's true. You are city dwellers. Community just miles from Columbine High School, shaken up after another school shooting. Just moments ago, Douglas County Sheriff Tony Spurlock told reporters one student was killed and 8 others were injured.
All of the victims that were shot have been released except for three children that are still in intensive care at area hospitals.
Yesterday's shooting happened at the STEM school Highlands Ranch near Denver, next door to Littleton, where the infamous Columbine massacre took place in 1999. 2 suspects have been apprehended, 18-year-old Devon Erickson and a 17-year-old female. 2 brothers are due in court in Biloxi, Mississippi today, one of them charged with killing a police officer, the other accused of helping him get away. And we're learning more about Darian Atkinson this morning. He's being identified as a student who got a 3-day suspension last year for making threats at Biloxi High School. Many schools across Portland and Oregon will be closing today because of a teacher walkout. Teacher unions say it's a protest over school funding. Oregon schools, however, have one of the lowest graduation rates in the country. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is proposing some new rule changes you may want to find out about. One would allow debt collectors to send text and PMs private messages to people who are behind on debt. The new rules would require them to give people a way to opt out or unsubscribe. Here in Chicago, a newborn baby remains in stable condition after he was found abandoned on top of a trash can on Chicago's northwest side yesterday. Major upset in Indiana elections yesterday. Lake County Assessor Jerome Prince is poised to win the Democratic mayoral primary and appears to knock out incumbent Gary, Indiana Mayor Karen Freeman Wilson off the ballot. Cubs over the Marlins 5-2. White Sox blanked the Indians 2-0 in Cleveland. The news, a service of Express Services Incorporated. You work hard, you know what it takes to succeed. Now it's time to put your experience to work and launch your business. For a limited time, Express Employment Professionals will give you $25,000 to open your franchise. Get to know Express. Visit expressfranchising.com today. 8:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Become an AM 560 business benefactor when you purchase a foursome to our annual golf outing, benefiting the 100 clubs of Chicago, DuPage, and Will counties. Presented by Clear Financial. In addition to enjoying a full day of golf, a buffet lunch, and a silent auction, your company will also receive 25 60-second commercials that will air right here on AM 560 to promote your business. Purchase a foursome today by calling 312-363-6680. That's 312-363-6680.
If your company has a 401k plan, you should know that in 2017 alone, the Department of Labor assessed damages of over $682 million against more than 65% of the business 401k plans it investigated. This represents an average monetary demand from the officers of over $600,000, excluding legal costs and time answering to the federal government. For a limited time, the accredited investment fiduciaries of Clear Financial Strategies are offering AM 560 listeners a fiduciary review of their business 401k plan. Don't be a victim of potential neglect by your current providers. For the greatly reduced price of $250, owners and officers can have peace of mind knowing the level of fiduciary compliance of their plan. Call now to take advantage of this limited time, no obligation offer. For your company's fiduciary review, call 855-972-9564. That's 855-972-9564, or visit clearfinancialstrategies.com.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Jim Keene Jr. of the Mail House, Inc., a family-owned and operated digital print mail house with a specialty in political advertising and a customer of Signature Bank. We knew that getting a loan to buy our business wouldn't be easy, so we turned to one of our trusted friends for a referral. She told us about the outstanding level of customer service her business received at Signature Bank since becoming one of their first customers in 2006. Today, we couldn't be happier. Not only did Signature help us finance the purchase of the mail house, but they supported our growth as we modernized our operations in mailing as well as from traditional to digital printing. If you're looking for a great bank to grow your business, take a look at Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
8:37 and a check on the morning ride to work in the AM 560 Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
In the Elk Grove Village area, Elmhurst Road is closed between Oakton and Landmeyer due to an overturned tank truck and fuel leak. This has the exit ramps from the Adams Tollway I-90 to Elmhurst Road closed. There are delays on the Adams Tollway eastbound Bussy to Elmhurst, and then also lead to the Tri-State and westbound from the Old Des Plaines Oasis to Elmhurst. Reagan Tollway delays from the Aurora Toll to Eola at 83 to Roosevelt. Northbound Veterans Memorial from I-55 much of the way to St. Charles. The Army Trail Toll to 290. Kennedy, 56 minutes O'Hare to downtown. Eisenhower, 58 minutes from 390. Stevenson is an hour and 5 minutes, 355 to drive. Ryan, 35 minutes from 95th. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. A couple of showers this morning, cloudy, breezy in the afternoon, high 64. Currently 47. Next news coming up at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Real Estate Revealed with Randy Barcella, Sunday mornings starting at 8.
Listen to podcasts of Joe Walsh and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy and our friends at the Heartland Institute, one of the world's leading free market think tanks, located right here in Arlington Heights, right next door to us. They've got, always have local events that are worth checking out, including tonight, a dinner tonight, May 8th, Wednesday, May 8th, tonight. Dinner with Jonathan Honig, the capitalist pig, friend of the show. Honig is going to provide an enlightening talk about the big ideas that make America a beacon of liberty from his book, a new textbook on Americanism, the politics of Ayn Rand. Dinner starts at just $10. Seats are running out. There's a couple left. So secure your ticket to hear the capitalist pig, Jonathan Hoenig, at the Heartland Institute tonight. Heartland.org is their website. Heartland.org is where you get tickets. And, of course, all morning and back with us is Joe Ahern and Caitlin Brennan, the COO and CEO of the 100 Club of Chicago, respectively. The 100 Club of Chicago, which serves Cook County, Lake County, McHenry County. They are the beneficiary of our 100 Club golf outing, June 24th at Miss Wood Golf Course in Romeoville.
Yeah, we have two shotgun starts, one at 7:30 in the morning, one at 2 p.m. We'll have a lunch from 12 to 2 and a silent auction. And just for today, we have our special business benefactor program. So listen up. If you're a business owner, manager, or the person who makes marketing decisions for your company, here's the deal. Purchase a foursome for $1,196. You'll receive a free day of golf, food, beverages. And as a way of saying thank you, we give you 25 60-second commercials to promote your business right here on AM 560. Commercials will run between 5 a.m. and 10 p.m., Monday through Friday. It is a radio value worth $3,000. We're giving it to you for $11 or $1,196 to become a business benefactor. Please call this number. Even if you have any questions, call this number, 312-363-6680. That's 312-363-6680.
I mean, you go out to Mistwood with a foursome, you're going to blow probably something close to that if you stay there, have drinks and food. And you get the foursome for $1,196. You get the commercials, $3,000 value, and you get to hang out with me. And you can't. That's priceless. And in
Does one think highly of oneself?
And in addition to that, you are helping the families of fallen first responders, police officers, firefighters, federal agents who work in Chicago, Lake County, McHenry County, suburban Cook County, as well as DuPage and Will County as well, all beneficiaries of the support we receive through this golf outing. And Joe and Caitlin from the 100 Club of Chicago, I'd just be interested to hear how you each got affiliated with the 100 Club. I think how you get involved. I think it's always interesting what motivates people to pick a particular philanthropic endeavor. And Joe, I mean, you were a longtime TV news executive in Chicago, so that journey from being a newsman to heading up the 100 Club.
The group from the 100 Club, a bunch of the board members reached out to me, many of whom I knew, and asked if I would be interested in running the 100 Club. And my grandfather was a police officer in Philadelphia, and I always had a heart for police and fire. And it was just the right time and the right coincidence. And so I came in November of 2010. And sadly, we had 7 line-of-duty deaths in that year. And it was a particularly tragic year. In fact, this year has been the worst that we've had since I've been there. And it'll be 10 years with 8 line-of-duty deaths. But it has been really an amazing run. Getting to know all the police officers and firefighters and the families that put their life on the line every single day. Frankly, it's been the best 10 years of my life to deal with all these families.
Well, you're doing God's work there.
And Caitlin, what about you?
Sure. So I came to the 100 Club about 5 years ago with a higher education background. So I came on to help coordinate our programs and work with our scholars. As we mentioned, we have 30 kids in college right now. So we walk through filling out a FAFSA and all the way to graduation. So I came in with that knowledge to help our children.
And this year, you mentioned you're helping 8 fallen firefighters, police officers this year. 17 children, though. You're assisting them through college. You're paying for their college.
Yeah, through college education. And in fact, many of the moms are considering going back to college and going on to, further their education. So we have this, with the 8 line-of-duty deaths, we have 81 additional children that will come of age in the next 18 years that will be there to help.
Wow, that's a lot. So you need money, and you need, golf outings. Is it ever hard to sleep at night thinking, I hope we get enough funds to support these families, Caitlin?
Sure, it definitely. People's hearts pour out when there's a tragedy, but these families live with us every day. So it's something that we keep in mind. They're always in our thoughts and in our prayers.
Just a high-profile case recently, the McHenry County officer who was killed in the line of duty, and maybe this is a good example of the kind of work you do. Take us through how you made contact with that officer's family after his death.
Sure. So our board actually came together and went into McHenry County. We joined McHenry County.
Do they have a 100 club?
They did not.
Okay.
They did not have a 100 club. So we brought the 100 club to McHenry County after Jacob Keltner was killed in the line of duty on March 7th, and met very shortly after with Sheriff Prim and with Jacob's wife, Becky. So we've been with the family since.
And do they have children? Can you tell us
They
about?
do. They have two young boys.
And then so the educational piece of this, how you work with the family to sort of help them set up what the future is going to be for their children in terms of their education. How does that work?
Sure. So in this case, like many of the tragic stories as of late, the children are young. So we're with those families from the day of these tragedies. We have families that we've worked with whose parents were killed in the line of duty 30 plus years ago. So we're here for the lifetime, and we'll help them walk through what they need to get to higher education. But there's camps and programs and other resources we can help with.
And Jacob was killed while serving a warrant in that Rockford
Correct.
motel. Okay. So have you been into McHenry County before? Is this, unprecedented, or is this the first time?
We actually considered it a few years ago, and we had met with Sheriff Prim, and just the timing wasn't right. But we had an emergency meeting that Thursday when the sheriff, Deputy Sheriff Keltner, was killed, and that following Saturday we were there with the family, and we just were out in McHenry for a meet and greet with business leaders and the mayors of Woodstock and McHenry, and just the outpouring is just tremendous. You can imagine. We had people coming to a meet and greet and bringing us checks to help support these police officers and their families.
And then your mission field, police officers, firefighters, we've mentioned both of those groups of individuals. Who else?
And state, local, federal law enforcement. We have the Illinois State Police, sheriffs, ATF, DEA, anyone that is in the line of duty, then we're there immediately.
And I mean, when you say immediately, I remember talking to you about this before. I mean, you're there within 24 hours with a check for the family.
Yes, yeah. And then Caitlin takes over and works with the families through college education. We have 24 colleges, 3 law schools that are providing 2 full scholarships each for all these families. So it's a real blessing that we have that kind of community outreach and support. But frankly, through AM 560 and the platform that you give us is a tremendous exposure for us so that we can continue to do our work. So we're very grateful to you.
And besides the shock of your loved one, coming to work and not coming home at night, a lot of the people don't have money readily accessible for a funeral. So you come to their house with a check, correct? Can you walk us through that process?
Yeah, Caitlin, why don't you?
Sure. So, and then sometimes too, we end up meeting those families at the hospital right when the tragedy happens. So we walk through kind of what you can expect. Again, as I mentioned earlier, these families are put in the limelight immediately after tragedy. So you have to share your loved one with the world. And that's a big shock to families a lot of times too, is having to walk through that. We do assist with immediate financial support so that they can help pay for funerals and then the other resources.
And I assume this is like sort of like there's a lot of charities for veterans, right? And so one of the things is you really have to build a trust relationship with veterans. Your organization does, because there's so many, and some are more effective than others, and some are more honest than others, and so forth. So building that trust relationship with opinion leaders in the military is really important if you want to be a successful charity serving military families. And I suspect it's probably similar with respect to police and firefighters and first responders, is you have to build trust relationships with those people because they're such a tight-knit group.
Well, that's one of the benefits of the fact that we have been around almost 53 years. In August, it'll be 53 years. So they know that the legacy of our work and how we've been there. So we come with that when we walk into the home, which many don't. And so it really is. We have wonderful relationships with all police and fire and Illinois State Police and others.
And what about the relationships with the kids, through the years that you've helped, and just tell us about that.
Oh, Caitlin.
Yeah.
Sure. So one of our longstanding, who was a survivor, their parents were killed in the line of duty.
Their parents were?
Their father was killed in the line
okay.
of duty about 30 years ago, is one of our board members, Jay
Oh.
Vincent, who used educational assistance and is now paying it back as a board member.
Well, this past weekend, we were in Lake County for a Lake County Municipal League 5K run, and Liz Kelly, now it was Liz Sauter, sang the national anthem. And she was the widow, and so we have these long-standing relationships with these family members, and they're pretty much our own family now. It's our 100 Club family. And this summer, in August, we do a 100 Club Family Day at the Brookfield Zoo, and we'll have close to 500 people turn out. And this is an extended family. We have grandchildren that are coming to the Brookfield Zoo, and because they lost their grandfather.
Yeah, it's a relationship organization. It's not just a one-off, it's a relationship for generations, not just a lifetime, many generations of lifetimes. The 100 Club golf outing, great organization. I'm a great golfer, so greatness comes together on this day, June 24th.
And you're so humble.
I'm kidding. I'm like a mediocre.
And what's the bidding up to now? Is it 10,000 to golf with you?
Well, Joe, it's funny that you should ask.
It's an excellent point.
Because,
excellent question.
Yeah, if you want to golf with Dan or with Joe, which I'd pick Dan over Joe or me.
Obviously.
The foursome would be $2,000, and then we will record your commercials as well.
Although, as I've said, I'm sort of coloring outside the lines here as I want to do, but really my foursome, if you're doing market value, that's a $5,000 foursome.
Oh, okay.
You're two.
I think I'm $3,000.
You think you're three?
You know what? I have fun with the groups.
All right. You're
I
three.
respect the game. I'm quiet when you putt, and I don't move when we're on the green and you're putting.
Yeah. All
so
right.
I'm good that way, and I don't get hammered, which is good.
Okay.
Drink.
Good to know.
What else?
I don't know if that's a selling point or not, depending on who's at. Oh, okay, never mind. But anyway, so $2,000 to golf with me, to golf with Amy, to golf with Joe. $11.96, as Amy said at the outset, for just a foursome. But with that foursome, you get 25 60-second commercials to promote your business on our airwaves, primetime hours during the week. It's $3,000 worth of advertising you get for $1,196 plus the day of golf, plus getting pictures with Amy and all that jazz. 312-363-6680. 312-363-6680. It's a fun day with a great purpose, and that's to support the good work that Joe and Caitlin and all the people associated with the 100 clubs in Chicagoland do.
And again, we want to thank our businesses that have already signed up. Spots are filling up quickly. Mag Mutual, Clear Financial Strategies, Precision Payroll, Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling, Remke's Garage, and Phil and Reggie. Remember them from our trip? They bought a foursome as well.
Yeah, they're out Seven Bridges way.
Yeah, but they're going to be coming out our way for the golf tournament, which will be Monday, June 24th. This event always sells out, folks, so please sign up sooner rather than later. Call this number now, 312-363-6680. Operators are standing by. They'll answer any of your questions that you have. 312-363-6680, a number of our advertisers that are still with us today began as business benefactors. So really, it's the best advertising deal in all of Chicagoland radio. $1,196, you get to play golf, and then we give you 25 60-second commercials. It's really a way to take your business to the next level.
Thank you so much, Joe. And
I can't
Caitlin.
say the number again.
I guess you
What's
can.
the number? I have it memorized now.
What is it?
312-363-6680.
At least you got it right. Caitlin and Joe, 100 Club, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Golf with AM 560 on Monday, June 24th at our annual golf outing to support the families of fallen first responders. Call 312-363-6680 to reserve your foursome.
A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. The storm season is here. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for sudden damage and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com.
Balance of Nature's fruit and veggie capsules contain 100% fine-ripened fruits and vegetables, tested pure with no pesticides, fillers, or additives of any kind, and are the most effective whole food supplements on the market today. You might ask, how can over 10 servings of 31 different fruits and vegetables fit into 6 vegetarian capsules? Fruits and vegetables are on an average 85% water. Balance of Nature uses cold vacuum technology to remove the water, leaving only the whole food. We don't use any heat, air, or light drying methods that damage nutrients. Our cold vacuum technology maintains 99% of the fresh fruits and vegetables' original nutritional value. Along with diet and exercise, Mother Nature provides fruits and vegetables to help us maintain good health.
To order, go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751 and use discount code CHICAGO.
Hi, it's Amy Jacobson, and before you buy a new expensive mattress, I urge you to consider the MyPillow mattress topper. It's a lot less expensive and will totally revitalize your mattress. I have one, and frankly, I don't know if I love MyPillow or MyPillow mattress topper more. It's that good, and you'll get the best sleep of your life. Order now and get 30% off plus 2 free standard MyPillows. The exclusive 3-layer design includes MyPillow foam for support, transitional foam to help relieve pressure points, and an ultra-soft patented temperature-regulating cover that's washable and dryable. Plus, Mike Lindell's 60-day money-back guarantee. You'll get the total body support you need, sleep better, and save a lot of money. Save 30% off your MyPillow mattress topper when you use promo code AMY. Plus, you'll receive 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free. So visit MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201, promo code AMY.
Varicose and spider veins. Wow, what a gift from my mom. She had them, I got them, and not only are they uncomfortable and sometimes painful, but I stopped wearing skirts and shorts because I was embarrassed and I really hated the way my legs looked. When my kids asked me, "What are those things on your legs?" I was done. I finally went to Vein Clinics of America. The procedure took about an hour and I was right back to work. What they're doing with lasers these days is unbelievable. The staff made me feel so comfortable, and the results, well, even my husband has noticed. Vein Clinics of America has been treating vein disease for over 35 years. They're the largest and most experienced in the U.S. Look, I've been doing the commercials for Vein Clinics for years because I really believe in them, and you can trust them too. The best part, my insurance covered the procedure, so stop hiding your legs. Call Vein Clinics of America now to see if you qualify for a free consultation. Call 800-375-8900, 800-375-8900. That's 800-375-8900.
We have to talk about it.
Nope, I don't wanna.
We have to.
No.
But we need life insurance.
I am not listening to you.
So you don't love me then?
What? Oh, fine. We need life insurance, but all the paperwork, it's such a pain.
Not with Ethos.
Ethos? Is that some kind of yoga thing?
No, Ethos is life insurance for people like us.
Like us?
People who don't have time for fine print, insurance jargon, and hidden fees.
Yeah, I pretty much hate all that stuff.
Of course you do. With Ethos, you can apply online, and there's a policy for every budget.
Really?
Yes. The online application only takes 10 minutes, and you'll be taking the first step in ensuring the kids and I will be safe, even if something unexpected happens.
Ethos brings you choices that don't require an in-person meeting with an agent, and in most cases, there's no need for a doctor's appointment.
Feel better?
Yeah. I do.
Ethos, life insurance made simple. Apply online in just 10 minutes. Get a free instant quote now at ethoslife.com. That's ETHOS life.com. EthosLife.com.
AM 560.
The Answer.
Wow. Former Baywatch star Pamela Anderson says Julian Assange, her boyfriend, does not deserve to be in a Supermax prison. She visited him yesterday behind bars. The first person to see him besides his attorney.
So touching.
He needs all the support he can get. You know, justice will depend on public support. And he's a good man. He's an incredible person. You know, I love him.
Oh,
I can't
no.
imagine what he's been going through. And to see him was good to see him. It was great to see him, but he's this is just misrule of law in operation.
Misrule of law.
Save his life. That's how serious it is.
She's afraid he's going to die in prison. But she went on to say, too, that she felt physically... She cut the interview short because she said, I feel physically sick.
Is the hepatitis C from Tommy Lee? Is that why she feels physically sick?
Feels physically sick for the conditions that he's living in right now.
I have a question for Pam Anderson.
Yeah. She looks hot, by the way.
Where,
Still hot.
Where's Embassy Cat? That's all I care about. Where is Embassy Cat? I want to know that Embassy Cat is safe.
Thanks so much for making us part of your day. Thanks to Justin Kosick, our technical producer, Quinn McCarthy, who is our... What is he today? Think quickly.
He's going to be our caddy on June 24th.
Exactly. He's our caddy. And we'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Now, here is Mike Scott.
Rideshare drivers on strike today in Chicago. A second man charged in the death of a woman killed by a stray bullet in Chicago. WIND Chicago News Time. It's 9 o'clock.
The House Judiciary Committee is readying a vote. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, to hold Attorney General Barr in contempt of Congress for not showing up at a hearing and not handing over the unredacted Mueller report. Democratic Chairman Jerry Nadler told CNN they have to
get information about how the government is running, about possible wrongdoing. Otherwise, we have a monarchy.
The Justice Department sent this letter to the chairman and said that they're trying to negotiate in good faith, but if they continue down the citation path, they'll have no choice but to urge the president to invoke executive privilege, dropping the curtain on any release or access to that material.
Fox's Catherine Herridge. While House Democrats demand the IRS hand over Trump tax returns, out comes a New York Times report on his taxes from decades ago that the president calls a highly inaccurate fake news hit job. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, someone with access to President Trump's IRS transcripts gave copies to the